Hello everyone, welcome to Bronze, and tonight is round 15 of the World Championship of Season 4. Of course, we are on the back end of what was an absolutely sensational celebration last night, as the first ALR champion of Season 6 has been crowned in all of the divisions. That was, of course, young Tommy from rags to riches. The ultimate underdog story was that young Tommy, a world champion in ALR Silver, and looking forward to seeing what he can do against Gold's finest next season. And of course, we're looking forward to seeing Tommy against Emerson, Tommy against Gurman, Tommy against Milan, and all the other runners and riders from Gold. And so we're looking forward to that one. That one's going to be fantastic. So congratulations to Tommy as well, as of course he's also in the comments right. Evening everyone there. Young Tommy, a world champion, so he's the first champion, and that is the first of 4 drivers' championships that we have to crown this season, don't we? And of course, we do have another 3 to go, don't we? And I think Theo might be the next driver that we could potentially crown to be a champion. He cannot do it tonight, but he can. But if he wins tonight and his competitor and Ayrton doesn't score, he'll be 3 points away from winning it in Austin next week. Then, so that is the challenge there from Theo. Excuse me. Anyway, let's go through the drivers and the constructor standings, shall we? I am feeling a bit. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, to be honest. Thank goodness gracious me, I got a big headache today, so I got to be delicate with myself tonight, and hopefully the drivers will be delicate with me as well. Let's go for the drivers and the constructor standings. The championship is ridiculously close, so I must say that the top 19, or the second down to 20th, is covered by just 75 points. It is so close. It really is indeed then. And technically, mathematically, everyone all the way down to D, as well, all the way down actually to you mad bro, could still win the championship, of course. I think even RDW can still win it. Technically, mathematically, everyone is still within a chance of winning it. Having said that, though, realistically, that is not everyone that's going to be in the championship field, are they? Theo leads the championship by 75 points then from Ayrton, who is now in second position. That was a lot closer about 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, the man who was second in the world championship, Enright, has had to unfortunately was removed from the division, which is such a shame, wasn't it? So that is a bit disappointing indeed, isn't it? We have got. So we've got Ayrton second at the moment, then 6 points away from Ayrton is Echo in third position. And remember, the top 3 get promoted to silver, and those are our top 3 competitors at the moment. And Theo almost there, almost home and dry then with Ayrton and Echo. Vintage is having an absolutely stellar season in fourth position. He's not here tonight, is he? In the Red Bull, but he's fourth down a superb season. Irvine is fifth, and he is 1 point away. Irvine was superb in this event last season, wasn't he? So we are expecting, can Irvine break into the top 3 for the first time in this season? Solon Shipton not here even tonight. He is in sixth, though, in the championship. Swanshank seventh. Billet having a good season in 8th position. Shadows in 9th position, and joint on 49 points is Joseph in 10th position as well. In the relegation zone, Diego Umabro and RDW. Diego on 4 points, Umabro on 2 points. He's only just coming to the Mercedes stable, and no points so far for RDW. Constructors standings is like this said. It is Ferrari leading 16 points in front of the Red Bull team in second. Then the gap, the championship and the constructors that is separated by 100 points. While bronze is definitely one of the most tightest divisions out of all the LR ones so far. Goodness gracious me! Red Bull Racing are second, and they're 16 points adrift. And third position is the Aston Martin team. Aston Martin have been pretty disappointing, haven't they? In the other leagues? But I've got to say, bronze have been doing pretty well. Fourth position is the McLaren team with Williams in fifth, Haas in sixth, Alpha Tauri are in at seventh position, Alpine in eighth position, Mercedes are in ninth, and Alfa Romeo complete the top 10. They're the only team in the bronze constructors that hasn't got into triple figures yet, unfortunately. So that is the state of play in the drivers and the constructors standings. And so it's looking very impressive indeed. Theo is on course for maybe a hat trick of pole positions. There's a pole in Russia, pole in Singapore, and potentially can he get pole here tonight as well? Theo, who's got 4 pole positions in his bronze season so far, for 3 Grand Prix wins as well, and 5 podiums there for Theo. Of course, he has been the class of the field here tonight in bronze. And let's go for the comment, shall we? A young Tommy evening, everyone. The ALR is back, Diashi, and so is Diashi, who's back in the stable. That I think he's driving for his third team this season. He was with the McLaren team, wasn't he? Diashi was. Now he has been given a chance in the second half seat as well. Then, so let's see what Diashi can do. Then Diashi currently down mid-table at the moment. Then on 13 points so far, Diashi is, and so hopefully he can climb up the table as well. And realistically, I think anyone can still. We got 150. Here we go. 156 points still up for grabs in the in total then for the drivers here. So there is a lot still to play for us now. So nothing is out of the question just yet. Goku evening, everyone, and the champ Tommy as well. Fanjo evening. Oh, good evening, Fanjo. Fanjo was very unlucky last night, pole position, and then you had technical gremlins there, didn't he? Fanjo did, and then unfortunately, he went into the back of Slayer when Slayer had a bit of a swapper, a bit of a tank slapper, didn't he, at the exit of 130R. Good save from Slayer, but unfortunately, Fanjo was too close there and went into the back from there. Horrific incident indeed. That Diashitane is all dry. Then, of course, we had a full wet race last night, didn't we? As it was the full wet tires. Then we went to the intermediate tires halfway through. It's an absolute deluge, wasn't it? Third night with me and Farfen, of course. That is yes, indeed. Then as we're doing triple duty with Far. Also, so is GVDA Gaming then, who is taking part in gold, silver, and bronze tonight. Can he do a foursome in COBALT tomorrow night as well? Well, potentially. We've only got 17 drivers in the session at the moment. Only 16 is qualifying at the moment. So one driver is going to be unfortunately taking the walk of shame. And there goes Gaming coming across the line to set us on our way then here in qualifying now. Then I'm disappointed. Turnout only 17 there. It's been a pretty disappointing week in terms of the attendance of drivers there. Mad Bro has gone second now, 3 seconds in front of his teammate thus far, as we've got a Haas car who has got issues. RDW has lost the whole of the front wing now, and so has Diashi, also having a couple of issues as well. They're just trying to get out of the way now. Ayrton second, and of course Ayrton, this is potentially maybe like his namesake then, Ayrton Senna. Can Ayrton really roll back the years there and have a good race here tonight? And he did alright, didn't he, in gold on Sunday. Echo 4 faster runner. Echo is in the top 3 now in the championship, with Jamie Enright's exclusion from the championship. So we'll see how Echo does that. Joseph invalidated this time. Now we've also had a trip there for Diash then, of course, back in the Haas car. Lovely helmet studs, by the way. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Wow, only 17 there from Kakarot Goku. Irvine saying even though, cheers for the kind words, Sean. Then no problem at all. Then I don't say much unless I think it's worth being said. Then, which you would think there's a lot of things that it's worth me saying. Then, but no, in all seriousness, and young Tommy there, brilliant performance did, and then there's one of absolutely incredible stuff indeed there for young Tommy. Really scary. It's an absolute scary talent young Tommy has, doesn't he? Incredible stuff indeed there. On board Camera Racer then. Camera Racer is the second most experienced driver on the on the bronze grid here tonight then. He has he's the joint most experienced driver on the grid tonight. It's 44th Grand Prix start for bronze here tonight, and that is joint with Ayrton, who is also on 44 as well. And so they're 6 away from the magical 50 mark. Then those two drivers are then. Some good stuff indeed for both of them. Lovely job indeed. Then there's a magical number as well for RDW. He completes his 40th Grand Prix start as well tonight. Then so RDW on his 40th start for his bronze career. So good stuff indeed there for RDW. And Diashi just crossed the line now, and he is 5th fast run. Just sticking with Camera Racer one as he's now climbing up the hill. Then it's quite steep when you're not in the Formula 1 car, and now going into the 130R as well. This is not really a corner much anymore. Camera Racer not really putting too much effort into this lap. Then as you can see from the graphic on the bottom of the screen there, the battery has not depleted whatsoever. Serious Russian told you it'd be dry then because it's not silver. I'm blushing, mate. Then of course young Tommy, fantastic, wasn't he? Of course, the first champion and the first ever champion in F1 2021 then for ALR. Good stuff indeed there for young Tommy. And of course, young Tommy's season is not done and dusted though. He's still got 5 more races, and him and Dylan have still got to wrap up the Constructors' Championship, which I don't think is too far away either for the AlphaTauri team. And also remember the joint constructors as well is still up in the air. But once again, the AlphaTauri looking very formidable, and they indeed all 8 drivers are looking absolutely incredible. Here comes Joseph. He goes that second fast at the moment now for Joseph. He is in the middle part of the table and on 49 points. Joseph, it's a lovely crash out without it. Goodness me, it's a bit of like Lando Norris colours. Lovely stuff indeed. Oh, he's took too much curve there, and he has spun the car, and that's a bit unfortunate then. Gunnar, who didn't go too far last night. Oh great, the Haas is missing. As just watching Gunnar then going up the S as well for the serious mushroom. I think that I gotta say we got 2 Haas in here. I'm not sure serious mushroom has got the old Specsavers out, because there's one in Arnie Wee, and the second one, oh goodness me, but just like I said, Arnie Wee has spun the car, and goodness gracious me, so he's got to spin it back around there. That's that lap ruined, and the other Haas car is Diash. But then again, I think I read that comment way too I think I read that comment a bit too late there, because I think you might have been commenting on the damage from Diashstead. As Camera Racer has had a much better time of things there. He's gone third fast. We were just watching Gunnar at the moment there, who didn't get too far last night. And of course, because of the lack of, we've had a lot of drivers missing this week, and because of that, we've had some of the full-time drivers, which is not usually something that ARR likes to do, have been driving in the other divisions there. Of course, Gunnar returned to silver last night. Ayrton, for the first time in his career, drove in gold on Sunday night as well. Of course, Sunday is absolutely our views for Sunday was absolutely ridiculous indeed. And 1.3k views is ridiculous. I never thought we'd ever reach those heights. And goodness gracious me, it was great. It was really good indeed. Then here comes Gunnar though, who comes out of the triangle chicane then, and let's see what Gunnar can do. Then we're just aiming to lose 1 driver in this qualifying session now, as we've already lost Felipe, who's got a 4 qualifying ban then for the shenanigans that happened in Singapore. Was it Singapore? I think it might have been. I can't remember. It was quite a long time ago. Here comes Gaiman then. It's very dirty over at Dunlop there, isn't there? So I think that they're going to be a bit cautious out here. Here comes Irvine, and as we mentioned, he's 5th in the championship at the moment, Irvine. So I'm expecting big things from Irvine. Of course, I think in the last 2 races, though, in Russia and in Singapore, he's really started to show some mettle, hasn't he, there? This is the Irvine that we have wanted to see. So I think Serious Rush is going to be very happy there as they hedge the trees. That's been cut back there. So Irvine, I don't think we've seen the best of Irvine so far this season in Bronze. But I am really looking forward to seeing what he can do on a real driver circuit, which is the Japanese Grand Prix, and he goes second fastest and underlying. And both the COBALT drivers, and all 3 COBALT drivers from last season, first, second, and third. There we had a great race last season here in Japan, didn't we? We had a wet session then, and it was absolute chaos, wasn't it? Vintage in a full. I tell a lie, Vintage is in here tonight. So I think it was Alibi I was thinking about. I apologise profusely to Vintage. I apologise absolutely shameful behaviour from me. Oh, I thought they was missing. I'm on a laptop and the colours are hard to make out there. Don't worry about that, good sir. Yes, so we got Diash and RDW, but unfortunately both Haas's are 10th and 11th at the moment, and they're both the slowest of the cars so far. Ross goes in one day this time, unfortunately. Vintage going over the crossover there. Swan Shanks. Oh, goodness me. He's hit the wall. Oh, my gosh. How did he survive that? It's beyond me. Goodness gracious me. There. Swan Shanks Kovalainen crash there in 2009, I think. Oh, well, I think it was a bit more in, was it? I think that was a bit more further around the curb there. But Swan Shanks having an almighty clout there with the Barry. 7th in the World Championship at the moment. Swan Shanks is there. It's very tight in those potential promotion spots into silver from next season there, isn't it? If you have a good run of the next 5 races or so, you could be seeing yourself on the pinnacle of going to silver from next season. I'm just watching Vintage in car 43 in the Red Bull, then into the triangle chicane, then taking not too much curve there on the exit there. 18 turns around this figure of 8 circuit here in the land of the horizon. So across the line, Vintage goes 6th position there, and there's been a Vintage performance indeed there. Swanning in the tank there. young Tommy is saying, goodness me, he had a bit of a tank slapper as well. I can't believe that Swanshanks didn't end up in the barrier and out of qualifying, and that's absolutely, they do make them strong, don't they? And Lee, fantastic stuff indeed there. Wow, fantastic stuff for Swanshanks to be seeing this qualifying session. Ayrton's gone fastest there, a really impressive time there for Ayrton. Ayrton's never had pole position in his career of bronze or an ALR. He has had a Grand Prix, and he's had 2, I think, hasn't he there, Ayrton has there? Of course, so he's, I think that Ayrton has described it. He's been a bit disappointed from his point of view, but being second in the championship is nothing to sneeze at in ALR, is that? Diashi across the line now. He's on the medium tires. He goes 8 fast as Diashi does, and that looks like in car 41 now. I was going to say, it's on car 47 now. Goodness gracious me, he's got Schumacher's number, but no, it's car 41 there. I apologise. Roscoe going across the line as well. Let's go on board the Ferrari driver then. It's been a bit of a nightmare season for Roscoe, hasn't it? Of course, he won a race last season in Italy, but unfortunately this season he is down in 15th position, only 26 points then to the driver of his talents. It's quite futile considering the fact that Roscoe is a Grand Prix winner. He's a very experienced driver in LRs. He's represented gold and in bronze as well. He is I think he was 1/3 of the Constructors' Champions as well back in at season 3 of ALR. So yes, he's definitely got the talent, hasn't he there, but he's just had a lot of bad luck there. And also, it's very difficult to get on a roll, isn't it there? And going in to the Kobayashi hairpin as well before accelerating away. Serious Russian saying, oh, Swanee, come on, lad, you're better than that then. I think that Swanshanks did a good job there to not retire. That's actually incredible stuff indeed there. RDW, 5 seconds off the pace there. We're going to come back to RDW in just a few moments' time then. Coming out spoon now for Roscoe then. So let's see what he's doing. Car number 2 in the Ferrari then. As he now starts to build up speed then, going up to the, well, what was the formidable 130R. Not so formidable these days. At the moment, we've got 12 cars setting a time so far. Out of the 17 that is on that circuit. Hopefully we'll get another couple in later on then. Because I thought we had a count of 19 there, but when we was doing the drive, so we've got 2 missing at the moment now. Roscoe across the line there, he's invalidated his time, so that's not good there for RDW. Sorry for Roscoe, so he is going to have to go. Well, he ain't going to be able to go around again then, because this time and the next time that's been invalidated, he's got less than 5 minutes. He's got 4 minutes to go to get himself going. And Echo, I just read somewhere then, who had him put on the ERS, so he's definitely got more in the piggy bank here for Echo. Lovely helmet design as well for Echo. Yes, indeed. That, of course, he did mention he had a new helmet design, and very similar to young Tommy, and that brought him success last night there. So hopefully Echo be fingers crossed that Echo could do something similar as well there. Well, I won't start on mediums in the race, and I want to have more sets of soft tires. So that is a that is and of course I think I was answering to Serious Russian, what is the actually wasted medium tireless. Silly softs don't last long. It's a one stopper. Serious Russian was saying. Then across the line goes Echo then to start his timed run as well, then in 10th position at the moment. This is going to set the grid then from first. Oh gosh, that car is stepping up then, and Theo is out of qualifying. And that's not good then for the man who is quite close to win the championship. He's got a 75-point lead. That is 3 Grand Prix wins there. He has in his pocket then over Ayrton at the moment then. But he is out of qualifying. I didn't see him go off then. I'm not sure if he's crashed over at a technical ground in the Ferrari garage. But that is not good there for Theo, is it there? So he's going to have to be really fighting his way through the grid then. Theo, a big story here in this qualifying session. He is out of qualifying. And that is it. He is done and dusted then. So Theo the highest he's going to be able to start is 16th on the grid, and that is a lot of cars he's got to overtake. Then there's only one real overtaking opportunity. Well, I would say maybe into the triangle chicane then, but you've got to be quite quick, much more quicker than your competitor to overtake there, and you've got to be up a lot earlier than your competitor. Otherwise, it is down into turn 1 then after DRS. And only one DRS around here, similar to Monaco. Then there's only one DRS in Monaco as well, isn't there? So not many other places to have over to DRS. Maybe you could have up here, but of course that means the drivers have to manually shut it, similar to Silverstone, of course. But remember in Silverstone, Grosjean's DRS didn't shut, did he? And he had an almighty spin there into turn number as Echo goes across the line and goes at 8 fast. Diashi in 9th at the moment then. Just reading it hot off the press said, as Billet is now just coming out of the pits and just watching Roscoe, who's still trying to put a time on the board. Then Swan Shanks is gone into 11 fast, and he made a mistake earlier on. Then Gaming is having a much better fist of things here tonight. He's in 12th position at the moment. Gaming is, so good stuff indeed there for the Mercedes driver. Just going to watch Roscoe then, and let's see. Roscoe's got one more chance. Then Felipe out qualifying. He's got a full quality ban there for being a naughty boy in Singapore, and or was it to Russia? I can't remember now. I think it was Singapore. And of course, we've also lost Theo as well. And the reason why we've lost Theo is because Ertis said then that Theo is having troubles with his steering mount, which is why Theo's out. So that is a major blow then to maybe the leader of the championship. And that's going to really condense the bronze championship even further. I gotta say, bronze is very much hero to zero stuff, isn't it? Really, you could have a superb final 5 race and get in. And Roscoe's invalidated again. He is going to be at the mercy of Billet, I think, because Roscoe's could be out of qualifying here if Billet gets a clean run in here, because Roscoe's invalidated straight from the get-go, so he's going to be near the back of the field. Then Artie Whedon is 10 seconds quicker on his first time run here. Oh goodness gracious me, and a lovely shot here on the cockpit then. And oh goodness gracious me, yes, do you point us, show some loyalty, laugh out loud, angry type, and yes, you can count me on the race as I meant yes, but you do point said, even though they're from vintage as well. Then Evening Old Edge, oh goodness gracious me, then Serious Russian spitting fire tonight. Going back to the strategy calls, actually we'll go back to strategy in just a minute because I've missed that. As we're going to the triangle chicane then for Artie Wee. Then Artie Wee has not scored a point yet in this whole campaign. Now can Artie Wee put that right there? He was so quick in Belgium as well, and that's a real driver's circuit similar to this one there, where you can really make a difference, can't you? In terms of you can really make a difference there in the car on board with Billet, who's got the Giovinazzi helmet odds like then. That might be a bit inspired then, as he's well, depending on you if you're a fan of Giovinazzi or not. But the sad news is that Giovinazzi will not be is going to Dragon Penske, or is it just Dragon Racing now in Formula E? I'm not sure. But Giovinazzi no longer a part of Formula 1, unfortunately then, and it will be and of course it'll be Guan Yu Zhou then, who is third in the championship in Formula 2, I think at this moment in time, isn't he? So he'll be getting a nod in the second Alfa Romeo then. So that's the Formula 1 2022 grid complete, isn't it there now? Isn't there? There's only one seat left, Ben, and I think the news was kind of spoiled, wasn't it there? Back it was kind of sport there, wasn't it, in over in China already? Because I think it was the news broke. I think it was on the side of a shop, wasn't it? In the early morning, in the early hours of the morning, Sunday, I think it was. But then sporting his best impression of Antonio Giovinazzi with car 99 with the Giovinazzi helmet on as well. Out of the triangle chicane, then here he comes, and Billet into the final corner. Then he comes across the line. He is not Roscoe out of qualifying. And Roscoe is out of qualifying. Both Ferraris are in major peril. They're both out of qualifying. Theo's got a technical gremlin there with the steering mount then, so Theo is in major peril here tonight. Roscoe also in major peril as well in the second Ferrari. Both Ferraris are on the back of the grid here tonight. That is not good either. That is not very good at all. Felipe's got a quality ban then, is in 15th. It's not too bad for a qualifying ban, is it there? So unfortunately those are the three drivers then that have been knocked out of qualifying one here. Crush Your T is asking for an invite there, so hopefully we can get him in there. That'll be good stuff indeed. Just going back to the strategy calls, and D actually was saying then that he wants to have more soft tires, and Serious Mushroom reckons that soft tires won't last long then, and it is more of a one stop then. Softs and hards to the end, Diashi is saying. Young Tommy saying, yeah, that work. Struggle that lad then, as Serious Mushroom is saying. Very interesting stuff indeed then. So medium tires is not what the Diashi wants to go on then, is it? So interesting stuff. I love strategy. Of course, it's not as cut and dry like Belgium, for example, where it's kind of soft to medium or medium to soft, then you can really play about the strategy around here. But a one stopper is probably the quickest way to go. The quickest in qualifying one so far is Ayrton. He's less than 10 seconds in front of you, Mad Bro, who is second at the moment now. Of course, you Mad Bro, who is the newest driver, a part of the Mercedes family. Then good stuff indeed. Irvine in third position, Artie Wheat in full fed, and hopefully Artie Wheat can get himself some points on the board. Theo technical gremlins there for the championship leader, so that is a major peril there. Roscoe out of qualifying there. He made a couple of mistakes in that qualifying session. He's going to be kicking himself, I feel. And also out of qualifying there is Felipe with with a qualifying ban there, unfortunately. Crusher T needs an invite. If someone get him in, that'd be absolutely fabu. Vintage as we got Gunnar saying even more then. Good stuff indeed there. So it's dry Gunnar saying then. So he's hoping for a better race than what he had last night then. 15 cars in qualifying 2. We're down to 14 in a minute when Felipe retires from the session. As the famous Japanese Ferris wheel on the right-hand side of the screen there. Of course, that has been there forever and a day, hasn't it, really? Because ever since I've started watching F1, that Ferris wheel has always been there. One of my earliest memories of the Japanese Grand Prix was 95. Jean Alesi, and probably one of his best races of his career. Unfortunately, that only lasted 20 odd laps, so didn't it? He was superb on that day. Then when the track was very much was a bit, I think it was wet, wasn't it? Really, and he was really homing in. Schumacher wasn't he in the Ferrari? Schumacher in the Benetton. Jean Alesi in the Ferrari. Of course, unfortunately, he retired. I can't remember what the retirement was there, but that is such a shame. No, wasn't it for Jean Alesi there? But I'm thinking, looking back on 95, Ferrari did have Jean Alesi had a lot of bad luck in his career, didn't he? Of course, he was touted to both Williams and Ferrari when he was driving for Toro, wasn't he? I do sound like a Jean Alesi fanboy, don't I? All the time I talk about Jean Alesi. Billet has decided to scrap the Giovinazzi helmet now, and he has decided to go for less weight, but a bit more dangerous, hasn't he? There, so he's lost his helmet now, Billet has there, and he is now in the Alfa Romeo, getting a bit squirrely on the old exit there. Outlaps then for Billet, who's on soft tires there, medium tires for Echo, soft tires for Gaming, soft tires for Racer, and soft tires for Bro, for you, Mad Bro, and for Joseph as well. So those are the drivers then. Why is I hear you asking then, for anyone who's new in the stream tonight then, why is everyone on different tires? And surely the soft tires are the quicker tire. Indeed they are, but however, if you get into qualifying free, you must start on the tires which you set your fastest time on it. That is so that is one of the pitfalls of getting through the qualifying free, which there is a rumour that Formula 1 might be scrapping that rule. I'm not sure what you think about in the comments there. Throw in my way then on your opinions there. I'm in an iron about that because sometimes it makes for it. Sometimes it may not make for a good race kind of thing, and other times it would. Remember, I really enjoyed the race on Sunday in Brazil. Then Billet has gone too wide there, hasn't it? You clip the curve too much on the inside there. You've been spat out wide then. Because you've been spat out wide then, that's a track invalidation there. And Echo has done exactly the same thing there. So two drivers done exactly what Roscoe did on his final run as well. So they're both going to be kicking themselves. And what about Gaiman then? Wow, then track limits then. Good 17 there for Gaiman. And he just rode a bit wide there. On board now with the Mercedes driver then. As he is now going up the hill in the Mercedes. And left, right there. Goodness gracious me. And there's turn, and more turns around here. You do not get an ounce of breath, do you? You've got to be as fit as a fiddle, don't you, to get this one right there. You haven't heard much about Theo's if Theo's got his steering rack sorted then, steering mount sorted then, because that is going to be crucial, I think, in the Japanese Grand Prix. Hopefully Theo can get it sorted. Yellow flag in sector 1 then, and that's it. Dunlop, one of the Aston Martins, has had a come a cropper. It is Joseph who's come a cropper there, and so that is a shame now for Joseph, and that's his lap been aborted. Then he's also invalidated his lap as well, so that is that's a bit of a double whammy there, unfortunately. Cut that damn tree, Terence Rusher was saying. Then of course they still haven't done it, have they, after 2 days? Goodness gracious me, what are the Japanese marshals doing here tonight? Absolutely appalling stuff. Of course, Japanese marshals are probably one of the best marshals in the world, and a really good stuff indeed, along with the British marshals, I would have to guess, and the marshals in Monaco as well. I think that absolutely superb marshalling as well. And of course I think, and they do it for free as well. They're absolutely incredible. They're incredible human beings, aren't they? Into the pits there comes Gaiman then, so he's abandoned this time then, so he is not too keen on that. Swanshanks is just coming back on the circuit then. I'm not sure if he's had a moment in Dunlop there, if he's just getting out of the way. He's on an outlap here, so I'm wondering if he's just getting out of the way then. Camera Racer's just about to finish off his lap then, but you Mad Bro is going to be the first one across the line. He is across the line on 29.865 then for the Mercedes driver. Good stuff indeed there for the first ever COBALT World Champion. And you Mad Bro, he's had a bit of an up and down stop season, hasn't he, really? Unfortunately for you Mad Bro, he was in a bronze then. He didn't start race race when he first joined bronze. Then he went to silver, had a couple of races in silver. He's back in bronze now. It's mainly due to his work schedule. Camera Racer just a fraction in front of you, man, bro, by your 300th of a second now for Camera Racer. I think Camera Racer, then we haven't seen the best of Camera Racer this season, have we? Which I think is a travesty to say the very least. Of course, I think his best race was in the Austrian Grand Prix, wasn't it? Before it went a bit, downhill in the uphill and breaking point of turn 2 of turn 3 on the official track map. Here comes a bit going through the 130R into the triangle chicane as well. Of course, that's where we've seen Gunar's out of qualifying. That's not good at all for Gunnar, is it? And yes, he's off there. Oh goodness me! Yes. He's off in a big way there, Gunnar, and that is a major blow. And Gunnar's going to be kicking himself in, because I think this would have been a very good qualifying performance there for Gunnar. Echo's just gone in has gone a third faster on the medium tires. You need so far only one driver going on medium tires, and everyone else is everyone else is qualified anyway. It's gone on to the soft tires outside in the middle part of the lap. I'm just watching what Diashi's doing. He's in turn 1 then. Irvine is just going into the crossover as well, but I think that is the no, yes, Chatters is the furthest man across the lap at the moment. Coming out a spoon curve as well, dropping down the hill before you race back up the hill as well. Then let's see. Let's see what we do then. Norman is saying, "Love you, Camera Racer, my hero of the day." Then, of course, you cannot agree with that. Then you cannot disagree with that, can you? There, with Camera Racer being the fastest so far. Of course, as I mentioned, then the 44th start tonight for Camera Racer. He is the most experienced driver in bronze history. Joint most experienced driver in bronze history, along with Ayrton. Shadows goes 7 fast, and here is Ayrton now. I'll break this, glowing on the Papaya McLaren out of the final turn. Then Ayrton goes fastest there on medium tires there. Ayrton is very much looking at the races here tonight. Great stuff indeed then. Here's Irvine across the line. Irvine goes full fast and he's done a 30 flat. So Irvine is on the 4th position at the moment. Are we there? Are we? Oh gosh, there he's gone straight to the barrier. That back end is twitchy. He has gone straight to the barrier. The Red Bull's going to have to take a base of action there. Vintage, he was on an outlap though. Vintage there, I think, has got by. He has got by there. Oh goodness gracious me then. Unfortunately, that's a bit messy there for RDW there. He's going to have to come back in the pits there, so dust himself off there, dust his overalls off there, and go again then. But luckily he's still in qualifying. Gunnar is coming out of qualifying now. I'm not sure who that was actually. Just coming in the position there. Norman saying Camaro for the win then. I forgot Camaro was here. Must have been hiding then. Well, Camaro currently he's going under the radar a bit. Camaro is there, but he's second fast at the moment. But goodness me, he's sprung out, hasn't he? Good stuff indeed there for Camaro. So just watching gaming there, going up into the hairpin as well. There's a Red Bull in front of us and doing a lot of harvesting. That Red Bull is there. I'm not sure which Red Bull that is there, because we've got a bit of a difficult high angle shot there. Out of qualifying then. Gunnar is down in 13th position now. That's the highest he's going to be in qualifying. Felipe could potentially be as high as 14th now in qualifying with that 4 quali bun there. Goodness gracious me then. So Felipe might be happy with this. And of course he also gets a lot of new tyres as well. Gaming just rising up the hill then as well. Yellow Flags is just in front of Gaming. Gaming then, as I mentioned, this is his 3rd attempt of Japan this week then. Of course, he is very new to ALR. This is only his 3rd ever race in all of ALR history then, of course. So the only ever race he's done in ALR is Japan there. So hopefully Gaming has enjoyed himself this week. We're enjoying seeing him in the action as well. And he's 7 fastest there. Good time indeed there for the Mercedes driver. And I think tonight will be a very good race there for Gaming. I've got everything crossed for him, as he was very unlucky. I think, he scored his first points of his career last night, didn't he? Joseph has got an invalidation somewhere. I'm sure he didn't have an invalidation up until on that straight line, unless I am very much mistaken, which I may be very much mistaken. And Diash Legend coming back in the pits there. Vintage starting his lap then. So is Billet as well. Vintage is, oh goodness me, I was going to say Vintage and Billet were Lionel Stern then as they started their laps, and that's not where you want to be. There's no slipstream around here. Oh, Billet's off there too much at the back, and it's just stepped out. These cars are so easy to spin around, and that's unfortunately that's Billet's lap there, done in dust there, so he gets himself back on the power, but that is not good at all. So Vintage then, who's also his lap's also done as well. I'm wondering, he must have made a mistake in turn 2, so he backed off straight away in car 43 for Vintage. As I mentioned, he's 4th in the World Championship, only 6 points away then from the promised land of silver from next season there, with 6 races to go then. I wonder what Vintage would be thinking about that. Keep your camera off him. He should be all right then. For camera for Guna there, as I think that was a bit of a pun there. I love it. Of course, not many puns tonight there, unfortunately, with Fila not driving in bronze as of late. Just watching Shadows out. He's done 4 laps on the medium tires. 5 minutes to go. I'm not really too sure. I'm not really too sure if he wants to start the race on 4 lap old medium tires here, because that is going. He's got to take those into the race then if he qualifies in the top 10, of course, and I'm not sure that Shadows really wants to be doing that, does he? He's right down there, as I think he's just waiting for the Haas car of RDW to just fly around there. So Vintage said, who's now winding up, and he's going to let it go. I think he is there. Well, Billet's back in the pit set. What about Vintage then? Vintage is now going to let it go as well. Let's go on board the Red Bull driver. Honda, Red Bull, and also AlphaTauri going to be very much at the centre of attention tonight here in Japan, as we're just watching Vintage going through turn 2 as well. Oh, goodness me, a bit of oversteer there. So just on board Vintage, they're going through the S as well. Of course, Honda and AlphaTauri are going to be centre of attention there because they are powered by Honda, aren't they? Of course, the Japanese engine supplier. Now, I think that this is Honda's home track, isn't it, or something like that? I think Toyota owns the Fuji circuit, don't they? Remember back in the early, in the late 2010s, or early 2010s, we did race in Fuji as well, didn't we, in 2007 and 8, and Toyota, and there's a deal in Japan there to have Fuji 1 year and Japan Suzuka the next year. I think it was going to start in 2009, wasn't it? It was Suzuka in 2009 and 2010 was going to go back to Fuji. However, unfortunately, because of Toyota pulling out of Formula 1, that deal never materialised, unfortunately, which Honda wouldn't be too disappointed about. But of course, Honda also pulled out of Formula 1 as well, didn't they? In that very at the end of 2008 as well, didn't they? Really? So there we go. Anyway, just watching Vintage there, just coming over the crest of the hill as well. Then, and let's see what he can do. He's doing a good time so far. He's gone purple in the second sector there, so that is pretty impressive indeed. They're now going into the guys. RDW is in major peril, and Vintage Vintage out the final turn. And let's see what Vintage can do. He goes across the line and he goes to Nate fast. Oh goodness me, there's a lot of dirt on this on that AlphaTauri. RDW is out qualified. He is going to be a bit disappointed. And now we've got, there's RDW's car just at the side of the road there. We have got Felipe that potentially will be starting in front of Gouda and RDW, who unfortunately didn't survive qualifying, and they're both out of qualifying, unfortunately. So Diashi then, who is, oh goodness me, he's going a bit off the circuit. I think he's got distracted by something. Swan Shanks then is just continuing on for his lap now then in the AlphaTauri. He just needs to put a time on the board here. I think if you put a competitive time on the board here, you might be able to get through in this qualifying 2 session. And as just now flying up the hill as well. Let's see what he can do there in the final section. He's gone purple in the second section as well. Vintage ended his lap in 8th position on a 32.2 on a medium compound tires. Swan Shanks has gone at soft tire here then out of the triangle chicane and resting that car at the triangle chicane. He's used all deployment there. He goes 6 fastest Swan Shanks does there. I'm not sure if that's going to be safe, is it, with the caliber drivers that is still out there. Goodness gracious me, then there is a bullet. And look at him, he is focused over there. There's that big old pillar on the halo there. You'd be surprised. It's incredible how the drivers just look past that, don't they? Of course, so we thought that might be an issue with the vision there when the halo first came into play there. Diashi goes across the line. He's 10 fast. He's at a 42.770. He may have to go again on that one, as we just got Vintage, who's improved by 8/10 of a second. Now he's 8 fastest Vintages. He's done 4 laps on the medium tires. So Vintage has, if he's in qualifying 3, that will be 4 laps on the race tires then, and I'm not sure if he would want him to be doing that. And 90 seconds to go in this qualifying 2 session. Out qualifying Felipe, qualifying Bam, but he could be as high as 11th at the moment then. RDW is out as well. He's down in 12th position at the moment. Joseph and Billet is still to come. Gunnar down in 14th position as well. He's also out of qualifying. Norman saying then, great result, still my hero then, as equals saying sorry to Farfen was having dinner, and it looks like that unfortunately there he he didn't see the time there, so unfortunately Equals will not be able to take part. It looks like Equals will not be able to take part in the race then, and as Farf gives them permission, we're on board with a Bullet there, and Swanshank's just in front of us here. Swanshank's there, who's just coming into the pits, and of course there's goodness me, and he always teleport back on the track there. The line there, Bullet goes fifth fast. He's been very good in the bronze career, hasn't he? But as Swanshank's there retiring from the session, and the best he's going to be is 7th tonight there. Diashi has found an abundance amount of time in the second sector for Diashi. Then he had a bit of a scrappy first lap. Then what about this second lap then? And this is 2 laps on the soft tires. This is what the tire that Diashi wants. He's 7th fastest overall there for Diashi. Now that is good indeed. Then Ayrton Coda cross line. He is going on soft tires actually. So Gaiman, who is at 9 tenths a second down, but he's also violated his time unfortunately. Out of the final turn then, and here comes Joseph. He's through. In a qualifying free, he's done a lap on those tyres, and he is through at the moment. Then Echo's 4 tenths a second up, and he's also like Ayrton, he's also out on track then on soft tyres as well. So this is a strategy change then here for these drivers. Oh goodness me, I've got a bit of indigestion. Vintage is out of is unfortunately out of qualifying, he's in 11th position, so that's where he's going to start for Vintage. And I think that we may have our top 10 already, so it's going to be now the drivers like Echo and Ayrton, they could potentially just scrap their lap and come back in the pits then, but that's not what Echo's doing here. Echo has crossed the line, he goes second fastest there. He wants to start, it looks like he wants to start on those soft tires, doesn't he? And I think that Ayrton might be singing from the same hymn sheet here. Maybe, I'm not sure if they share the same songs of praise booklet or not, but they are definitely on the same page nonetheless. And then out of Spoon turn as well, and Bullet there just in front of us there. Bullet was kind of on the racing line there, so I think that Ayrton may have lost a bit of maybe the slightest amount of time then, albeit he is 4 tenths a second up, then this may not be too crucial in the grand scheme of things. Ayrton into the triangle chicane as well then for the McLaren driver, looking very much at the race here tonight. Ayrton is very looking very strong indeed. He hasn't had a strong race in quite a while, Ayrton, so it'll be great to see him back at the front there. Across the line, he is second fast. Camera Racer is still top, and that is your top 10 shootout that's your top 10 shootout then for qualifying for qualifying free then as Joseph comes across the line there. 5 tenths second quicker there for Joseph, going for another time run then. That's an extra time that's an extra lap on qualifying trim on those tires. Is that going to be a problem? Well, we're going to have to find out, aren't we? Unfortunately, got to say goodbye to Gaming, but that's a great result for Gaming tonight. Then he will start 12th on the grid. Then just rounding off the final couple of positions. Gunnar in being 15th position. Artie Wee is in 14th. Felipe in 13th. Gaming in 12th position, and Vintage just outside the top 10 in 11th position. Then so those are the bottom 5 drivers then for qualifying number 2. As we are now going to progress into qualifying 3 of the Japanese Grand Prix, round 15 of 20 here in the Bronze World Championship. And of course with Fia, the championship leader, out of qualifying now is a major peril, isn't there, for Fia there, who of course there, if Jamie Enright's disqualification from the championship, Fia may have looked like he was home and hosed then, but anything but there. Out of qualifying is Gunnar, Artie Wee, Felipe, Gaming and Vintage, all out of qualifying. Into qualifying 3 is Swanshanks, Diashi, Joseph, Shadows, Billet, Irvum, Umadbro, Echo, Ayrton and Camero. Medium tires and for Ayrton, medium tires for Shadows and Joseph Bed. Everyone else is on the soft tires and starting the race tomorrow. No, later on. Welcome back, everyone, and it's time for qualifying 3 now, isn't it? As I was just quickly wetting my whistle because I know it's going to be an intense finale here in qualifying 3 now. Well, I was saying at the beginning of the program, before we realised that Theo had some technical gremlins, that Theo was going for a hat-trick of pole positions, but that is not going to be the case anymore, as unfortunately Theo is out of qualified. So who is going to be looking the best then for qualified in terms of the history? Echo's been on pole position back in the Italian Grand Prix, looking very formidable there, Echo wasn't he? Of course, as I mentioned there, Theo's been on pole position 4 times, but everyone else in the four driver trim then, for the 4-time seats has never been on pole position. So at the moment, Echo, out of all these drivers here in this season anyway, Echo is the only driver then this has ever been on pole position. Then just taking a look down, and I think that's also the same in the whole standings as well. Unfortunately, then. So we're just waiting now for the drivers then to complete their outlaps, and they will be ready to get going then as well. Then for the of course, this is pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix. We've already got yellow flags in sector 1 because we've already got a Haas car who has got some issues at the SSR, so that's not good there at all, is it? For RDW then, of course, making his return then after he has been in and out and shaken about, hasn't he there, RDW? Sorry, Diash. Goodness me, it's been like a jack in the box, hasn't he, RDW? But he's back in action tonight. He's been on pole position 3 times. RDW has in his career. He hasn't been on pole position this season as of yet, so he would like to get on pole position, but that is not a very good start at all there for RDW and for Diashi, unfortunately. Apologies, I was reading RDW's stats actually, and that's why I kept saying his name. Right, everyone is out on circuit. Apart from no, everyone is out on circuit. Then we got four hoster drivers then going for pole position and for the Japanese Grand Prix, and there is a golden opportunity for someone to take their first pole position of the season here tonight. And Echo is the only driver in this current crop of drivers this season that's been on pole position. Echo and Diashi, the only drivers in the bronze history in this group of drivers that has ever been on pole position at all in any event then in bronze. And so yeah, we could have a new poles here tonight. And the odds are in the odds are in the favour then of the drivers that haven't been on pole position before. But here is Shatters, and of course Shatters then making his way up the hill as well. Then a lovely somebody there, Shatters, and he's had 2 podiums this season there. And of course he got a second position in that the Russian Grand Prix, didn't he? Shatters did. Of course he also had the 3rd position in the Austrian Grand Prix as well. That is his 2 highlights of the season for Shatters. But the Russian Grand Prix, absolutely stellar stuff there from Shatters there, and a really thing that he's been threatening to do. Shatters is such a quick driver there. He's just been a bit unlucky this season, hasn't there? But accelerating out of the Kobayashi hairpin now. Now he is blasted up into Spoon curve, and of course Spoon there. We've had a lot of incidents over the years. I think Murphy and I'm sure it's Murphy and Nigel had a humongous smash there in one of the seasons. I don't think it was last season. I think it might have been the season before, or the season before that. Then it's now going up the hill, then going into the 130R, and let's go into the triangle chicane as well then, and let's see what Shadows doing, accelerating away, and now coming up into the I thought he was coming in the pits, and it goes through the car looking a bit unstable, and out over the final turn now. Shadows on pole position, and he sets us on our way then. What about Echo? Goes second fast Mona. Shadows almost a second in front of Echo. Now that's a statement of intent there from Shadows. Billet goes third fast there. What about Camera Racer? You abandons his time. Camera does that. Joseph across the line. Joseph second. Shadows there has really stolen the march so far in this qualifying session thus far. That's a great start then here. And here comes Yuman Pro, but it's pole position for Yuman Pro. He's got plenty. He's got a couple in Cobalt. Well, this could be his first one in Japan and in a bronze line. And Irvine only 6 fast there, so something's gone slightly awry for Irvine. Here comes Diaz. He had a bit of an adventure on his outlap. What about his flying lap there? He's only 4 fastest there for Diashi, and that's still a good time there for the Haas car then. So they're just blasted up the hill as well then for us. We have got Swan Shanks, who's also blasted up the hill as well. Let's go on board of Ayrton. He's gone purple in the second split time. Ayrton's been pretty impressive so far, going into the triangle chicane and accelerating away then. I thought it said chicken now. I meant chicane then. Out of the final turn and Ayrton across the line. Pole position there for Ayrton. My golly gosh, Sarah. 10th of a second in front of you, man. What about Swan Shanks? 8 fastest there. And the round 1 is complete then. Ayrton's there a bit on pole position before his life. My goodness me then. Oh, someone, I gotta say, Ayrton there has been a bit downbeat, has he, as of late, that is his performances in ALR Formula 1 racing, but my goodness me, he's standing up in the seat of that car tonight. Superlative stuff indeed there from the Bahrain race winner back in the first race of the season in the bronze. He has still got a chance at the championship potentially. We've just read a comment from Theo saying that he's got issues there. He's got some major issues and he may have to retire from the race as a whole, but we'll see how that one goes for Theo. But this is a dent in his championship campaign. And Murphy has just confirmed that yes, he did have a crash there with Nigel. He remembered just this point here, as he remembers it like it was yesterday. It was quite a spectacular crash actually. That sticks out quite. That does stick in my mind quite quite, it does stick out in my mind for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's probably because it was such an unusual crash. I'd never seen a crash there before. I'm sure he's in the wet as well, wasn't there? Theo is very gutted indeed there, isn't it? So Theo may not be able to participate in the race, but we'll soon find out, won't we? Ayrton there, but Ayrton there comes from the pit set as he's slowing down to 80 kilometers an hour, and Ayrton's on pole position by a 10th of a second. We're just over a 10th of a second there from you, Bro in second, who Shatters in third position. Joseph is in fourth thing, and we are just seeing Billet there is coming out quite early on. Then Camera Racer, who's also been quick here tonight, and Camera Racer has got a Grand Prix win to his name as well, remember? I think, anyway, am I making that up? No, I'm not then. Camera Racer does have a Grand Prix win. Of course, this is his 44th start tonight, and Camera Racer's had three race wins, three podiums. Goodness me, I've got to put my teeth back in. 3 podiums there. He's also had a race win as well with Camera Racer there, and he's not much to write home about this season for Camera, but can he have a strong end of the season as he goes, as he has now gone up there as well. Theo, he's not sure if he's fixed the issue then, but he's going to see how he gets on there for the championship leader. Camera Racer wrestling the car there, going out of Dunlop into the first of the 2 Dagners there. There's his teammate in front of him, but Camera Racer's abandoned this. He has abandoned this attempt now, so I think he may have lost too much time. He would have felt that not only on his Delta, he would have also felt that in the of course, these drivers have got absolutely expert feeling, haven't they? They know exactly when they're losing time. They don't need a Delta, do they? They know just by the feel of the car if they're fast or if they're slower or not. Then Camera Racer would have felt that instantly then, wouldn't he, that he was slower. So he's decided to back off there, save the tires, recharge the battery and go again then. So we'll see what Camera did, but I think his teammate Billet's going to be starting first then. But Billet is not exactly is quite close to, well, I'd say maybe it's the other way around actually. Camera Racer is quite close to the back of his teammate there. They probably want to drop off a bit. The dirty air can extend to almost at the 5 seconds, can't they? Can it? So that is why then, so we are having a new revolution of Formula 1 car in 2022 then, which would be ALR Season 8, I think it would. Goodness gracious me then. And just now going into turn 1 there is a serious Russian there, showing that his loyalties definitely lie with the Haas team. And he said, it's okay, Theo, at least you're not in the Haas car. As of course, the joint construction there is still very much on then for everyone. And having said that, there's a Mercedes off the circuit. I think that Mercedes is being very gentlemanly. It is Pro, very gentlemanly in thing to do indeed. As he's seen Billet there, he didn't want to distract Billet, and he got well out the way. Then good stuff indeed then, which what Tsunoda tried to do in Mexico, but unfortunately both him and Perez there, but unfortunately Perez and Verstappen didn't really appreciate that too much, did they, in Mexico? Bullet coming into the hairpin as well. Then Camera Racer, I think, has had a cropper somewhere, as he is, well, we'll soon find out. Then there's yellow flags somewhere, unless the yellow flags was for the Mercedes driver. On board then with the front shot, then the Ofsted front shot, then looking at the nose cone now coming through Spoon Corner then for the Billet in the Antonio Giovinazzi inspired car, and with car 99, so I'm not sure if Billet's a fan of Giovinazzi or not, but he's driving in the car nonetheless. As unfortunately, Giovinazzi's 3-year stint then, well, more than 3 years, isn't it? Because he did drive in 2 races for the Sauber team in 2017 when Verline, yeah, that's it. Verline, of course, injured his back in that race of champions incident there. And of course, Giovinazzi there took over in Australia and China. Billet goes 5th faster, once again showing that he's quite formidable in the bronze division. He fantastic stuff indeed there for Billet, really impressive stuff. And Camera Racer has backed off then, and now he's going to go for another bite of the chair as well. What about Diashi? What can he do now? He comes over the crossover as well. Ayrton is still chilling out in the pits at the moment then, so Ayrton, is he going to defend his position then, or is that it for Ayrton? Well, we're going to find out then, but Ayrton there at the moment on his first pole position of his career in bronze, and that's exactly what he wants to do then. He wants to start the front then to really put pressure on Theo, and with Theo on the back foot, this is a golden opportunity for Ayrton. The gap is 75 points, yes, but that is 3 race wins, yes, but there is still a long way to go then. Ref 1 is not one on paper, is it? And this is live sport, everyone. Of course, so you so do not win anything on paper. This is about getting on the track there and showing what you could do. And goodness me, you mad bro, almost kicking out some dust there. I think it was actually the Alpha car. Oh goodness me! And the Alpha car spinning there, and you mad bro, he's just gone into the side. There's a 5-place grid penalty there. I'm not sure if that's warranted or not, but you mad bro. Oh goodness me, Camera Racer spinning off at the second Degner there, and and Umabro's gone into him, hasn't it? And that is a big blow. Camera Racer is going to have a 5-place grid penalty for that, and he's going to be very unhappy indeed. I'm sure he's going to have damage there. Umabro definitely has damage there on the front wing there, so that is not good at all, is it? Irvine starts his lap then. Swan Shanks is starting his lap as well. Oh golly gosh, then there's going to be two very unhappy drivers, and Bullet then crawling back to the pits. Then Echo is out on circuit as well. Ayrton has emerged out of the garage as well, as Ayrton's just behind Echo actually then, so Ayrton won't be able to get a cheeky slipstream here. Then there's they're now coming into the triangle chicane as well. Then Gurman has just gone damn, as yes, that is a bitter blow for Umabro. He cannot come, he can come back in the pits, but it's daylight in a dollar short there. Echo goes third fast, he's on the second row of the grid then for Echo, so he's going to be very happy with that. Then Ayrton is just started his lap as well. Let's see what he can do then. Umabro then, who's just crawling back to the pits, and he's going to be disappointed at then. 7,700 second up, challenges then. Can he get himself back into third on the grid? Then he can indeed. He is so close there, but he's back up into third. Good stuff indeed. Diashi's abandoned his time, and that is it for Diashi. Then Camera Racer also back in the pits as well, as that was an adventure that he did not want to have, was there? Camera Racer will be starting 15th on the grid for the race coming up in a couple of minutes time. Then unfortunately for Camera Racer, and he gets a 5-place grid penalty. As I said, where was that warranted or not, I do not know. He was I think he was on a quick lap, and he was pushing there, and that is and that's unfortunate. So there's the Umabro is a bit too close there. Irvine into the triangle chicane then, going over the curbs and accelerates away. The checker flag has fallen. Diashi 7th, Camaro in 15th, Umabro is second at the moment. Then Irvine out the final turn. Irvine's on pole position there, and this could be his first pole position of his bronze career. He has really thrown the gauntlet down. What about Swan Shanks across the line? He's invalidated this time. He's going to be 9th on the grid. Oh my goodness me, Ayrton has found a bit of time then, but it's not much. It's a bit of time now. Joseph has found 2/10 of second in the Aston Martin, out of the triangle chicane for car 27. Joseph goes third fastest out on the second row of the grid there. Good stuff indeed then. Echo is at 2/10 of second down there. Echo is there on this quick lap then. I don't think it's going to be enough then. Ayrton's found a 10th of second in the far sector. Is it going to be enough? It is, and Ayrton's on pole position there for the Japanese Grand Prix. Wow, that is absolutely sensational. Ayrton is first ever pole positioner in ALR bronze, and fantastic stuff for Ayrton, and he is on pole positioner for the Japanese Grand Prix. Wow, absolutely mega stuff indeed there for Ayrton. He got his first Grand Prix win in bronze earlier on this season. Now he's got his first pole position in bronze as well. He is going to be delighted with that result, isn't he? And that puts a lot of strain on Theo in the championship, doesn't it? Goodness gracious me. Theo is going to be a bit concerned by that pace that Ayrton has shown in this qualifying session there. Ayrton and Irvine on pole position, two famous names in Formula 1 then, albeit one name is more famous than the other name, isn't it? But however, in ALR trims, they're both very incredibly talented drivers, aren't they? And they're going to be sharing the front row. You man, bro. He'll be a bit grieved about what happened in that final part of qualifying there. Ayrton, there he is, and he's going to be very happy that he's on pole position then. And look at those bronze, look at those former COBALT drivers there, Irvine, Joseph, and Umabro, second, third, and fourth. My goodness gracious me. This is looking very interesting indeed then. Irvine saying Ayrton, but congratulations indeed. And Jamie is a bit unhappy that he didn't get a notification there. But goodness gracious me, 70 hundredths of a second there between Ayrton and Irvine. I looked at the first sector for Ayrton. I didn't think that was going to be pole position, but he had an absolutely incredible second sector there. 10th of a second he found. Magnificent stuff indeed then, as he now blasts on to the race itself. And of course here in Japan then, of course Ayrton is synonymous around here, isn't there? As of course Ayrton Senna is a very much a heroic figure here in the land of the rising sun then. And now we get on to the race itself, and Sir Smith, about time, Ayrton. Goodness gracious me. Ayrton has just gone, sorry. So now we get on with the race itself then, as 20, well, I don't think it's 20 cars, is it? But I'm not even sure how many cars we've got on the grid then. But however, whatever the case may be, it's about quality rather than quantity. And I've just bit my tongue. Ow. I mean, oh. Right, let's go on with the race then. We got 24 seconds and it's the countdown to the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. As Pillar saying, Ayrton is my goats then. Great, Ayrton, of course, who's second in the championship. Then Theo's got technical gremlins. He's down in 17th position at the moment. Now Theo is, of course, the championship leader. 75 points is the advantage there. But if Theo's got technical gremlins, then there'll be no points then. Let's see if the Ferrari and himself have fixed it for this race, then we'll find out. As Sergio said, yeah, Irvine, well more famous than Ayrton then. Goodness, to be honest, Irvine did he make his debut? Irvine did at the Japanese Grand Prix in 1993. I know you upset talking of which, actually, Ayrton, hopefully this is not a foreshadowing of what may happen then, but I'm sure that didn't Ayrton and Eddie have a bit of a bust-up in the 93 Japanese Grand Prix? I think they did, didn't they? I think Irvine unlapped himself, didn't he? So, which Ayrton was not too fond of, was he? So hopefully we don't have any of that tonight then. Right then, 27 laps then around the Japanese Grand Prix. Ayrton, his first ever pole position of his ALR career. His first ever pole position of the season. His first ever pole position in bronze as well. He is on first position. He has got the soft tires. And Irvine there is on the front row then. Irvine is very much looking like is very much on song now as he's really putting pressure on those final drivers in those final promotion spots. And can Irvine, with a late surge then in bronze there, get himself up into silver. Joseph in third position, both Irvine and Joseph on the medium compound tires. So Joseph, who finished third in the championship at COBALT, is third on the road here today at the moment. You mad bro, the COBALT world champion is forfeited on this recipe for an absolute delicious feast here tonight, isn't it? You mad bro on soft tires in fourth then. Fifth position is Shatters. Sorry guys, I think I just smashed my mic. In fifth position is Shatters on the medium tires. We've got a lot of soft contingents now, and here they are. Echo in sixth position, Billet in seventh, who's minus the helmet. Eighth position is Diashi. Ninth is Swan Shanks. Good to see he's teleporting around. Vintage in 10th position there, and Vintage gets a new gets to choose whatever tires that he wants to start the race on with the 5-place grip penalty at Camaro. Gaming in 11th position, he's on soft tires. Felipe with a qualifying bun there, and that's not going to help his cause, is it? He's decided to go on the old pit lane now, hasn't he? Goodness me, that was way back in the 90s when he was using that. RDW in 13th position on medium tires along with Felipe. 14th position is Gunnar. He has gone soft tires along with Camaro on softs as well. Roscoe on softs there. Theo is on softs as well in 17th position. Has Theo sorted the issue as well? 17 cars, and so not great in terms, as we've got 3 cars missed tonight, which is not great at all, is it? But let's see how this one goes on. 27 laps around the Japanese Grand Prix. On board then with Ayrton, and this is the first time he's experienced in pole position there. Swanshanks there jumping right nicely up indeed, and there are the red lights coming on then for the Japanese Grand Prix. The revs are on then, and here we go then, and it is lights out, and it's go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Ayrton's had a fantastic start there, and that's a great start. Irvine is bogged down. Ayrton's gone, and but Irvine somehow keeps that second position. I thought you mad bro had it, but Irvine is still in second position. You mad bro in third. Shatters in fourth. The 2 medium runners on the polling start then, albeit Joseph's on the polling start. He's down 2 positions there. Shatters and you mad bro up 2 positions as well. Felipe dropping down the order. The medium runner tires have not got off to a good start at all. Ayrton has just flown away in the McLaren. Now we're on board with you, man, bro. He's trying to make these soft tires work quite quickly here. And the yellow flag said already. Camera racer dropping down the order. Then we've got a car off. Theo's in the wall there. I know that corner quite well because I crashed there and back in my season in bronze. And Theo then his issues continue there for Theo. The championship leader is in major peril. Ayrton is second and a half in front. Then we got Billet then, who has just got on the inside. Then Diashi, I was going to say, a very clean start so far, but Diashi, who looks like he's dropped down the order. Goodness me, Diashi almost off the circuit there. Swan Shanks there is just in front of us. Swan Shanks up in the same position there, going into a spoon curve now as well. And look who's up the inside there. Gunnar just siren past Gaming. Fantastic manoeuvre there for the Irishman there. Now he's in the points there. Gunnar is he had points last time on, and he's going for more again. Then Felipe is just squeezing Gaming. Goodness me, that was a very abrupt chop there from Felipe. Goodness gracious me, very aggressive indeed. That Gunnar is now right on the inside of Diashi there, but look at this, that is Billet, Swan Shanks and Diashi all very much right on stern, and his lap well completed. Look at the gap there, it's 1.5 seconds there. Ayrton is absolutely sprinting the raid, and you mad bro is all over the back of Irvine. And lovely shot here, but he's now going for second position. He's going for second position there. Not quite, and he will have DRS at the end of this lap then. Or the next lap, I said, and Diashi has got past one chase. Well, that's a great start here in Japan then. Fantastic. This could not be a better start to the Japanese Grand Prix. Everyone has got around almost unscathed, and apart from Theo. Oh, just as I said, a Billet's had issues there. Diaz has been knocked off the track there, and now Diaz is dropping down the order, and goodness, so now Gunnar's through. Gunnar's having his 7th position. He is up 7th place as he's had a magnificent start. Felipe's on the inside as well. Contact, Diaz, he's off the circuit now. Billet's off the circuit as well. Billet dropping down the order. Oh, goodness me, and Diaz having a look into Degner there, but Billet, oh, goodness me, as camera racer going through. Oh, Diaz almost going into the back of Billet as well, as both those two have not really been unfortunately sinking down the order slightly. That's not good at all. Felipe now all over the back of Gaiman there. Gaiman there, who's on the soft compound tyres. Gunnar's been the biggest mover. He's up 7 positions so far. Down at 10 is Echo. Unfortunately, the tyres, those are the tyre strategy. And then Ardiwi is off the circuit. Ardiwi is off then at the spoon curve. And oh, he's gone right off. And he's in the wall, Ardiwi is. He's out of the race there. And Ardiwi, I'm not even sure. Well, goodness me, Alonso had a crash there in practice one season in the McLaren years, the later McLaren years. Is that going to be a safety car? That's kind of in the line of fire. Ayrton, though, is still pulling away at the moment, though, isn't he? He's almost up to a second. He's almost up to 2 seconds there. And here comes Matt Bro. He's now coming out from underneath the rear wing of Irvine. There's alongside Irvine. He takes second position. He's through. He's through. He passes the Red Bull. Now, has he got the pace then to get after Ayrton? Then Theo is set to fast out the race. Theo's gremlin, so it looks like he's put him to one side, and it's now then, can he now start to side right through the field then, through this well, goodness me, through a very, it was quite a clean opening lap, and the second lap was a bit more spectacular, wasn't it? On board a camera race, he's down 5 minutes there because he spun in Degner too, didn't he? And unfortunately, Umad Bro collected him. Umad Bro is very much on the ascendancy, isn't he? Using the soft tires to advance, and Winifred is now going entire saving mode for the foreseeable future then as well. RDW out of the race, he's left the session there. RDW has unfortunately. I'm not such a shame because he was up 12. He was up into 12th position, wasn't he? Gunnar on a superb race so far. He's up into 7th, and great stuff indeed there for the Aston Martin driver. Superb stuff indeed then. Just watching camera race. So there's Field, the championship leader. Then he is in 12th position. Now we're not sure if he's still got issues there with the steering column or not. Then, but hopefully Ferrari's got something going there just so Theo can get some points there. Of course, the constructors championship is far from over. Drivers championship is still looking sure, but he may have one hand on that trophy then, but he's still got to get the job done. As he on the outside, though, gaming his arm, and anyway, that Vintage was trying to go on the outside. Camera racers through, camera on the inside. Oh, contact there, diving his way through there, breaking much there. The Vintage there on the outside as well as gaming there, trying to. Oh goodness me, there's a bit of there's almost coming together there out of turn number 18 there as well. Look how bumpy it is there, going over the grid hatch as well. Echo's back in the pits there. Echo is back in the pits there, and now Gunnar's dropped down into a position there. Somehow that polystyrene there has in the middle part of turn 2 has somehow been disintegrated there. Goodness gracious me there. And just Echo back in the pits. He's on the hard tires along with Billet now, so those drivers there in the back there had a bit of a nightmare race so far, but there's a long way to go in this one. Theo is just outside the points in 11th position on there. Vintage is now in the 10th position on the medium compound tires and field, but look at how much the soft tires are at the moment. They're absolutely flying out there at the moment, and the soft tires are loving these beautiful sunny conditions. They're up the inside into the hairpin here, and he's going to have a better run then. Swanshank's down into 6th, 7th position now, because now Felipe on medium rubber is now in 6th position, looking strong, very strong indeed. And Diashi trying to come back through the field as well. There he is in the background there. Swanshanks is dropping down the order, but he's going to go on the outside then, so Gunnar is on the inside. He's got more of a tyre angle then, and because of that then, but look, well, like wheel to wheel stuff, and look at this, there's a code up the hill as well, but Swanshanks got the outside. Gunnar's the inside to the 130R. Job done. Theo's also got through, passes a Vintage through the 130R as well. Diashi also passed, well, Shadows is at the fast on the race in 4th position. wow, incredible run of action there out of the triangle chicane as well. But Vintage is now under pressure. All the medium runners are really strong with pace at the moment. The soft runners are absolutely low now there at the moment as they come over the grid. Hatchins once again then, and Diaz is alongside of Vintage going up the inside. Vintage is down the inside. Diaz, he spun it. I'm not sure if he had a helping hand there. Oh goodness me! Luckily he ghosted there. Otherwise that would have been an inside. I'm not sure if he had a helping hand or what there, but. Unfortunately, John down the order. Gunner's in. Oh, Gunner's in the wall! Gunner is in the wall then, and that is. It's only damaged the wing there somehow. Goodness me, these cars are strong as dogs tonight. But Gunner, that is going to really hurt Gunner's race there. What a shame, because Gunner was having a superb race there in 7th position there, but he's dropping down the order. Yellow flags is fluttering for the Aston Martin, the recovering Aston Martin there. Theo up in the 9th position there. Ayrton still leads them, but the gap is now down to half a second. You mad bro, it's been coming at him like a freight train since overtaken Irvine. There's been a really impressive run of laps there from you mad bro, as he might have been a bit disappointed about qualifying, but the race tonight he's been on the Superb Ford as Swan Shanks getting on the grass a bit there. That is going to upset the car. It has really upset the car. Camera up in the 7th position there, and I think Norman's going to be very happy with that. And fantastic stuff indeed there. And then now is also Swan Shanks dropped down another grid position there, because Theo is now up and down position now. Theo dropping 17th on the grid. It's 7 to 8th for the moment there. Of course, Theo damage to the steering column there, damage to the steering mount there, but he is I'm not sure if he's got it sorted or whatnot, but he's driving superbly well at the moment. Theo is in the Ferrari. He is up to 8th position, and this could be valuable points, and it's never over till it's over in Formula 1. Is a yellow flag in the background, because I think Echo, who's had some issues there, just got up in the spoon as well. Theo is now past camera. He's up to 8th position there. Oh, Theo's had a swapper there, and he held there from the championship leader. Good stuff indeed there for Theo. Great stuff indeed then, and now Camaro, who is just there trying to keep up with Theo, as Gunnar is in the pits there. He's going to throw on the hard tires, and the Aston Martin mechanic is going to work there. It's not all over yet then, is it? But that is a crucial mistake there for Gunnar, as that has left him slightly out of sync, hasn't it? As a Billet is out in front of him. I think that Gunnar's Echo has got a 3-second penalty as his race is getting more and more tough at the moment. He's also got a 5-second penalty for Echo then, and he's out of the race then, unfortunately. And of course you do get depending on how many times you've done there, you do get a -5 point deduction there if you do it more than once, retiring in the pit lane there. Echo out of the race along with RDW, unfortunately. Look at the gap at the front now. Is they've all started to really start to condense on each other, haven't they? Ayrton still leads the Grand Prix with Mapro in second. Now the medium tires, I think, are starting to come into their own then, because remember, these soft tires have also done qualifying laps as well. You take a lot out of your tires on qualifying laps on low fuel. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars there. As we got an Aston Martin. Gunnar is off and won the yesterday. Oh, you mad bro, power sliding through turn 1. Incredible stuff from the COBALT champion. And now then he's pushing out. Joseph has got past. Shatters is off the circuit. Oh no! Shatters said he was on superb form, but he's had issues there, and he's dropped down the order. Felipe, who is going to be the one of the highest runners now on the medium tires there, but he's come up behind a very wounded Shatters there. He's gone on the outside of Shatters. He needs to be careful, because Shatters has got understeer galore on that car, and that is a shame for Shatters, and that is a brutal indeed. That you mad bro is now less than half a second behind Ayrton. Once again in the battle of the front there is the battle at the front then is definitely going to heat up there, isn't it? There, Ayrton's still doing a good job out there in front then. You mad bro, of course, is a multiple Grand Prix winner in COBALT, isn't he? He's now won a Grand Prix before in a bronze, so has he? It's, oh goodness me, getting very tight there into the hairpin now. As unfortunately Shadows then limping back to the pit lane. Shadows in a fine form, wasn't he? Looking very strong indeed then. As Sirius Rush saying, any slim chance of joint construction is disappearing before my very eyes. Like Gunnar, oh goodness me, Gunnar has been disqualified there, and he is out of the race then. So that is so Gunnar out of the Grand Prix, and that is a shame, and that's a disqualification right from the get-go. So you must have completely missed half the circuit. I think you must have been on the short configuration there. That is a shame then for Gunnar. Across the line we go then. You mad bro is on DRS now then as well. Joseph has set the fast on the race, and Ayrton needs to go to defend. He is not defended too hard, and look at this, but Ayrton's going in deep there, and he's just sized on the outside, and Ayrton is having none of it. And incredible stuff, and Irvine's dropped to almost a second second and a half back then, because Joseph's now on this tail then into the pits. There comes Shadow on, Shadow's also got a 5-second penalty as well. Down to 14 runners and riders in this Japanese Grand Prix. Ayrton, I thought might have been job done with it. UMAD broke absolutely blasting past him, but Ayrton just came back at him at the breaking point, didn't he? Just broke so much later than UMAD broke. He is still leading the race at the moment on lap 8 out to 27. Oh, goodness me, getting a bit squirrely out the second deck now here, and they fly past with then UMAD bro. And Ayrton as well, of course, UMAD bro would like to be taken off at this point here, wouldn't they? I think Ayrton would be as well. Gaming has had some issues at it, and he is off the circle in the S's there. Gaming got a good result last night there. Look at this, Theo is now on the back of Felipe as well. Felipe and Theo come through the field quite nicely indeed so far. Just back with UMAD bro in the Mercedes, and a second and a half separates Irvine and UMAD bro. Joseph not too far back either there. Irvine and Joseph were former teammates in COBALT, the first ever constructor world championship partnership in a COBALT there, going up into the 130R once again then. Not even a hint of a lift out for 130R these days. We've got a lot of gaps for him now. Felipe and Theo are about 12 seconds behind the battling top four. That just is showing you the electric pace of the top four at the moment. It's pretty scintilling. And I think that UMAD bro's a bit too far back on this lap. Joseph is now up in the third, passes Irvine, who's just dropped down into fourth position, and now Joseph is up into third position. He's on the podium then for the Aston Martin team. Good stuff indeed there. Joseph, that is a strong performance for Joseph. Absolutely loving that then. And look at this, Fields on the outside then, but Felipe has done it. Swanshanks in the pits then, as the AlphaTauri boys there doing 2 laps worth of action here then in consecutive laps there. On board going for the S's now with Field, the championship leader then. Of course, then he has gone from 17th on the grid. He is now up into 6th at the moment there in 9 laps around Suzuka. It is very much this driver circuit, isn't it? Look in the background, that is Camera Racer, another driver who's trying to come back after a difficult qualifying session as well there. Felipe is having none of it though. Felipe is dropping back slightly there because he's now almost 14 seconds back from the top 4. As goodness gracious me, so you go, the top 4's pace is absolutely electric out there. Really well done indeed then. Shadows and Swanshanks have just swapped positions there. Shadows now in 12th position there. Only 2 drivers with penalties so far in this race there. Lap 9 out of 27. Ayrton leads by half a second from UMAD bro in second. Joseph in 3rd position. 4th position is Irvine. A humongous gap between Irvine and Felipe of 14 seconds so far. I think that gap will need a safety car if they want to I think that gap may need a safety car if they want to come back at the top 4 at this moment in time now. The front runners are still not pitting at the moment, and Irvine is well within DRS once again then. So Joseph hasn't done enough on this lap then to get out of the DRS, but can Joseph stay in front of Irvine? I think it's going to be his next task, and I think he's done that going into turn 1. He's done very nicely indeed actually, Joseph has done, because he's actually just kept the gap quite nicely. Camera Racer, I think, is maybe the second driver then to come in for a scheduled stop. Theo is going on the outside. That he is on the outside. Look left. There's Theo and Felipe's out of it. Contact running my wide. Oh, goodness gracious me then. That was very strong arm there for Felipe and Theo then. Goodness gracious me. Shades of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton in Brazil. Good grief there. As goodness gracious me then. Of course, there wasn't much contact in Brazil. There's a lot of contact there. There was here in Japan. As Felipe getting a very strong arm there with Theo. And I wonder if Felipe thought that with Theo in the championship battle that Theo would just drop off, but Camera Racer's got a 3-second penalty on the opening stint on these medium tyres then, so that's not going to help him at all then. But at the moment, it's quite gapped. There's a lot of space out there, isn't there? A bit of field spread out here tonight. With no safety cars just yet as we're on at lap 10 then, as for Gunnar out of the race along with RDW and Echo and 40 so those are the 3 retirements already in this race. UMAD bro's now 3/10 of a second back then, as look at these 3/10 of a second back, he's 2/10 of a second back then. He's really on the case now of Ayrton. Ayrton is doing a fine job as his soft tyres are starting to fall off. He's still doing quite a good job. Ayrton is coming to the pits then, so he doesn't want to be undercut then. Ayrton has to slow down to 80 kilometres an hour. He has done it just out there. Just that then. UMAD bro leads that just a second over the first position. McLaren mechanics going to work. Is he gone? Oh, is there a problem here for Ayrton? Oh, goodness me. No, he's gone. Can't Ayrton get out? His next target then is to get out in front of his teammate here. And Theo is in the pits and he's had got none of he's having none of that then. Ayrton may be out just behind his teammate then, and that could hurt him then. As of course Felipe is not a regular McLaren driver, he's a super sub tonight. Let's see how that one plays out then. Theo coming out of the pits now then, as Diashi has decided to stay out then. He's going to go out in front of Gaiman then. I think the Gaiman is just coming out of the final turn then. Gaiman's in the pits as well. If he gets out in front of Camero here, this is quite important I think for the race then. This is very important for Theo's progression over Camero. He is through, he's in 8th position there, and look, Theo's down at 9th, and that's a crucial part of the Grand Prix. Shadows in 10th, Roscoe in 11th, Shadows, Swan Shanks in 12th, Gaiman in 13th position. Oh, he's in the pits. I was wondering what was going on there. But yeah, Gaiman in 13th position now. So Ayrton's come to the pits and he doesn't want to be undercut. He's on the medium tires now, Ayrton. So it looks like it is going to be the soft to the medium runners and it is the way to go then. Thank you very much for joining us as well tonight and really appreciate your company on this a lovely Tuesday evening then, as there's a beautiful sunset as well. The mediums are going to start taking over now. Serious Rush was saying that, yes indeed that, but at the moment there's still a 3-second gap then between New Mad Bros taking almost a second out on this lap. He's absolutely firing on all cylinders, New Mad Bros, but he's in the pits now. So let's see what Ayrton's done then on his opening lap then. Has the undercut worked? Was it the overcut this worked? Then we're going to keep an eye on New Mad Bros on the medium tires now until the end of the race as well. Here comes Irvine and he's using the RS triangle on the outside of Joseph. He's done it. He takes Joseph there, and the job has been done then. And now it's New Mad Bro coming on the pits. Felipe is in the pits. That's very early for the medium runners. I'm goodness me. New Mad Bro coming up, but here's Ayrton. It's going to be close, but Ayrton's done it. He retakes the lead in the Japanese Grand Prix. Ayrton showed the authority there. He came in the pits earlier on than New Mad Bro, and look at that then, the undercut of almost 1.7 seconds better. So now it's going to be a game of cat and mouse, isn't it, between Ayrton and New Mad Bro. Also a game of cat and mouse between Irvine and Joseph. Who's going to pit first then on the alternative strategy here? I'm loving this race, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. It's a very different race in ALR tonight. It's very much about the strategy and who is going to do what then. Diashi in the pits and going on to the medium tires then. So we've got all types of tires out here at the moment. Now Felipe coming out just in front of Theo. Oh, contact there. Theo has gone into the back of the McLaren there. Oh dear, Theo then is I hope he hasn't damaged the car there, Theo hasn't there. Oh dear, as he went to the back of Felipe. Felipe is on soft tires there. So it's, oh goodness me, oh look, he's on the inside today. That's got to be contact there. That is contact. Oh, contact again there. And oh, Felipe's in the wall. It was getting very robust between those tires there. He's gone into the barrier, Felipe has there. Oh dear. And another thing that might have been a bit of watering of drivers there potentially there. Maybe, I'm not too sure, but I did feel that the manners might have been thrown out the window on that exchange there, unfortunately. Theo then who used it, but he doesn't look like he's damaged the Ferrari. He's 2 seconds off Camero at the moment. Joseph is just 3/10 of a second back at the moment. We've also got Roscoe, who is just catched up to the back of Felipe as well. And Roscoe, who his teammate is inflicted the damage on. So as Felipe are just limping out of the way then. As limping out of the way of Roscoe then. So Roscoe, who is in a 10th position, and Roscoe's had a bit of a nightmare season, hasn't he? But he's now just trying to get past Felipe then. But Felipe is having none of it then. Of course, Felipe with damage to his car. I think he'll be in the pits on this lap then. So Roscoe, oh goodness me, and Roscoe there has just launched in there. I think there was a bit of desperation there potentially there. Hopefully Roscoe hasn't damaged the car, but yeah, I'm not sure about that. And then just going across the line as well. Goodness me, I think that might be a bit of impatience there from the Ferrari driver. Back with Irvine, who leads the race. Joseph in second position. 14 cars remain in this race, and Felipe has to do an extra stop on soft tires. And I wonder if he's got a new set of soft tires. Otherwise, he might go on the mediums here. Irvine leads that from Joseph in second there. Ayrton is now 2 seconds in front of you. Mad Bro in third position at the moment there. Vintage in fourth, and Camero fifth. Theo is in sixth position now. Shatters is seventh. Roscoe ninth. I hope you haven't got damage there. Diashi in 10th position as well. Outside the point, Swan Shanks in 12th position is Billet. 13th is Gaiman. Felipe is coming on the pits in 14th position there. So what are these drivers going to do then? What are these drivers going to do who haven't come in the pits yet then? Of course, it's Vince is on the same strategy as his teammate. Joseph there has gone through, passes Irvine, and away he goes. The medium tires are still quite quick because Ayrton is 15.6 seconds away at the moment. Ayrton 2 seconds in front of you, Man Pro at the moment. Vintage, Irvine and Joseph are the only drivers that have gone for the alternative strategy or stuck with the alternative strategy then. Let's see how this one plays out. They're going to have soft tires at the end then. Of course, it's very difficult to overtake on this circuit, and only one DRS zone around here in Japan, isn't it there? So you've got to, so really, your options are very limited then. Swanshanks going on the grass there is Bill there, Simon his way through there. Swanshanks having a look at the 130R. Wow, how Zergs, I thought that was going to be a humongous incident there with the Alpha Tari and the Alfa Romeo then, but good stuff indeed there. Great driving there from both drivers. Diash is now coming up to the back of Roscoe and back at the front then. This is where my attention is at the moment between Irvine and Joseph. The two former teammates who are second and third in COBALT last season. The first ever COBALT Championship winning partnership in the Racing Point team now. And now then, of course, on opposite side, now kind of on opposite teams here. But as yellow flag as one of the oh no, Shadow's in trouble there. Shadow's in major peril. He's on a superb race. Shadow's was there, but this is a major problem. He's off again there. He's off again, but he's kept along the wall. Good stuff indeed there. Well done there to Shadows for not going in the wall then, because I think that may have really completely ended his day there. Goodness gracious me then, as Troy said, I'm really hoping for no safety car at the moment then. There's like 4 drivers in contention for the win here on 2 separate strategies. Serious Mesh saying me too. It's absolutely fantastic race out there. I'm really enjoying this one. A completely different race then to what we've seen in gold and to what we've seen in silver over the course of the last couple of days. Absolutely thoroughly enjoying this one. Really good stuff indeed. Irvine has dropped back slightly, hasn't he? Diashi is still causing Roscoe some cause for concern there. Just going back now, these drivers that will be on the soft tires and the question is, will they be able to, as Irvine has dropped back here, has he overcooked those tires, because he just in a shot there through Dunlop of how hot it is out there. The heat haze was absolutely evaporating off the tarmac. It's absolutely cooking out there at the moment, isn't it? It's very heavy, it's very hot and heavy out there indeed, isn't it? And Joseph who's now out of the DRS range, that is crucial I think now for Irvine, and I wonder if Irvine's going to drop back, just harvesting maybe there, but he's not harvesting going up to the spoon curve there. We can tell that because of the red lights and not flash on the back of the cars. Diash is now up to 8 for this now. Roscoe down to 9. I'm hoping that Roscoe didn't sustain damage there with the issues that he had with himself and Felipe. Felipe is the only driver on soft tires now, kind of out of contention. Felipe is, and Roscoe's off the circuit. He's spun the car and he is in the he's in the gravel there. And goodness me then, and Roscoe, who was doing a good job, but he's unfortunately dropped out of the points there. Roscoe, as he's down in 12th position now. Unfortunately, Roscoe is there. It was a really unfortunate. Roscoe does so well, but he's having a really difficult season in bronze this season. I wonder if it's just the characteristics of the cars this season, as they are slightly different to the 2020 machines, aren't they? Back at the front then, Irvine looks like he was harvesting next. He's coming back and really attacking now. Talking of attacking, you man bros set the fast up race. Of course, you get bonus point for fast up as well in ALR. You also get it wherever you finish in the race as well. So so keeping in the race then can be crucial to your championship campaign. Joseph doing a great job. I'm loving this race there. Irvine, Joseph, Ayrton, you mad bro, having a superb race out. Vintage is doing a good race as well in 5th position there. Camera Racers bounced back absolutely splendidly well. Theo, I'm wondering if he's got damage there with his exchange with Felipe about half distance, about a few laps ago in this race. He is dropping off the back of Camera Racer. Diashi in 8th position. 9th is Billet, doing a good job. Billet is there, of course. Then we've got a lot of hard runners here of Billet, Swanshanks and Shadows there. Roscoe in Gaming, all on hard tires. Felipe is on the soft tires in 14th position now. And that is your runners and riders there. So when are these two going to come in the pits there? The soft tires did about 10 odd laps there, didn't they? So maybe we're getting into the pit window then. When is Joseph and everyone going to come in the pits there? Who is going to get the undercut here? Remember, the undercut is about 1.5 seconds, judging from you mad bro and Ayrton's exchange earlier on then. So who is going to blink first then? And can the soft tires get to the end? You don't want to blink too early. And no drivers coming into your jet then. So it's a bit too early. The two leading protagonists then in this race across the line. Lap 7. Mercedes of Gaming is off the circuit there. It's a tough race this one is there, isn't it? You have to have a lot of downforce there, but Gaming doing a good job there to get himself back on in a safe manner. As Ayrton has set the fastest up of the race out. He is flying now, as the gap is down to 12.7 seconds. Also, these drivers have also got to remember on the soft tires as well. They got to start to bridge this gap back as well. So they cannot give themselves too much time at the end of this race because it won't be enough then, because they've only got 11 laps to go on this lap then. So they come into the pit stop. They've got 10 laps then to really reduce the arrears. Catch and pass Umar Bro and Ayrton for the Grand Prix win then. Yes, that is very much going to be on the agenda here tonight. Oh my God. gosh, oh, I'm going to have to wet me whistle again at the moment. I am absolutely, this is an absolutely incredible race, isn't it? Serious Rush said, it's a great race, and I'm really enjoying this one. This is at the moment, as I said then earlier on, then this one has been about strategy then. This, as I said, it's about cat and mouse as well. So the two Alpha Taris are swapping positions there. Shadows is back in the 10th position. Swanshank strong down to 11th at the moment there. Just back at the front there as well. Are they going to come in the pits this time around? That's the Olympic Mercedes then of Gaming then, who's had a couple of, unfortunately, had an adventure or two at the snake section there. Joseph still leads that. Irvine is still second at the moment. And is any one of these two going to come into the pits? And I think Gaming will be in the pits at this time around. He will indeed. Joseph is in. Irvine is in as well as they go through the Ghost car, the Mercedes. And Irvine's got a 5-second penalty. That is crucial in the race. And Irvine has made a huge mistake, I feel. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get those 5 seconds back because it's such a tight race this one is. I think that is going to be such a shame now for Irvine. Now, once the car distracted him, the Ghost car distracted him, come the pit set. I think that that 5-second penalty is now might have ended Irvine's chance for the Grand Prix win because it's just so tight that in races like this you can't afford mistakes like that for Irvine. But let's see then, because we've still got 9 laps to go in this race. It's going to be exciting indeed. Just as Serious Road saying, it's going to be exciting when the front guys go to soft then, and they have gone to soft on this time around. Then Vintage has stayed up for this lap then, but he's got Camera Racer all over his gearbox now, and Camera Racer there is on the medium tires that go to the end, and Vintage is going to be quite quick at the end of this race then. And let's see where Vintage finishes there. Vintage has been a revelation. He's been my star of the season so far, Vintage outside. He's been absolutely superb there. He's a completely different driver to last season. Great stuff indeed then. Rear damage that time it gets in there. Serious Russian was saying as well. I got a bit of a toothache there. Ow. As Irvine now accelerating out then, and just keeping up with Joseph. I'm just thinking, Serious Russia, are you saying that there's a rear damage on Joseph's car potentially then? Cause I didn't think he'd go into the back of Joseph potentially. We got Camaro's off the circuit. Oh no! Camaro's only a superb racer, but he spun the car at the hairpin there. Oh, that is a big blow indeed. The gap is only 6 seconds. There's only 7 seconds there, isn't it, between you mad bro and Joseph there. Goodness gracious me. So that gap is not as big as what I thought it'd be. That they're definitely in range there of the top 2 drivers. Irvine and Joseph is there. Oh my goodness me! Then I thought it'd be a bit bigger. Sergio saying Roscoe's car then. Yes. So Roscoe's car then. Unfortunately, he's limping home now in the second Ferrari. So that's such a shame now for Roscoe. Vintage saying Troy saying that Vintage is a class driver, and talking to the class driver, he's in the pits now. Vintage is with Cameron making that mistake as well. Vintage may be able to get Camera Racer later on in this race. Right, he goes onto the soft tires. Vintage now. He's going to be quite quick there. He's going to get himself out in front of Diashi and Billet and Cove there. It's quite a long pit lane down here, is it? Well, it's not the longest pit lane, not by any stretch of imagination there. Billet, he's behind Diashi. He's going to get out in front of Billet and Cove there, and this could be crucial in the race. And it's Vintage. Where is he? He's coming out of the pit stop. Yellow flag in one, and one of the oh, goodness me! And I think that Vintage and Shadows may have come to blows out into turn 1 there. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. There's a very difficult pit exit here, isn't there? And I wonder if Vintage may have braked to try and let Shadows go through there. And unfortunately, they both met in the middle there. And back at the front then, Ayrton leads by half a second there from you, Mad Bro in second position. Shadow's got a 3-second penalty, unfortunately. And we got Joseph in third position. The gap is down to 5 seconds there. And he's taking the second out on the last lap as well. Then back on board, you Mad Bro. Beautiful helmet here. As you Mad Bro is doing a superb job. And he is the COBALT champion, isn't he? He hasn't had a full season this season, ALR. Unfortunately, but my goodness me, he's now really starting to home in now, isn't he? And just coming across the line there as well. Saying, come on, Vinegar lad, get some points there. Irvine is flying as well, then of course that 5-second penalty in the grand scheme of things may not hurt his position there, with Theo 16 seconds back and Camera a further 12 seconds back then. However, though, I think that may have ruined his chance of a potential podium here. You Mad Bros all over the back of Ers now. Irvine's all over the back of Joseph as well. Joseph is now 5 seconds away. There he is in the background. He just had a flash there of Joseph, and this is the best race in my opinion of bronze this season. This has been a superb race here in Japan. The line on the right rising sun now. And of course, I'm not surprised because all these, this is a real racer circle is now. Now, Japan is a real racing track as well. And Irvine now just drawn back slightly. You mad bro made a mistake there out of the second deck now, so I was starting to go into my monologue there. Ayrton is now gapped you mad bro to almost at 9/10 of a second. You mad bro does have the pace there, but he doesn't have the pace in the right stages of the circuit, does he? And that is crucial here in this race at the moment. Vintage is all over the back now of Billet. He's got to be careful there. Billet is on very worn, hard tyres. Vintage is on brand new soft tyres here. So Vintage there just got to make sure that he doesn't get caught a cropper here from Billet, because he's maybe braking in unusual places. Billet is as he's just trying to treat those hard tyres with a bit of tender, loving care there, isn't he? As he's trying to nurse them to the end of the race. Under the crossover as well for Vintage. Is he going to have a look there? Going into the hairpin there. Of course, the hairpin is so inviting. Kobayashi made a habit of that in 2010 in the BMW Sauber days, didn't he? Goodness gracious me, that. And Troy saying, I'll wait till the last time if I was you, mad bro, not to lose time to the soft runners. If I was Joseph, I'll let Irvine go and follow him to the top two then. So strategy calls then from both Cirrus Mushroom and Troy. Then Troy, a silver champion, Cirrus Mushroom, a Grand Prix winner around here as well. They both know what they're talking about, don't they? And I think that is a very clever and crude, very clever and innovative strategy, isn't it? As well, that's what I was trying to say. So you mad bro, wait until the end and then gets it out. Whilst if Joseph drops back, then he can just tow him, then Irvine can tow him along there as well, because he's got track position now with Irvine getting this 5-second penalty, which may really have cost him a podium here then. There's one more car to pass towards the end. Troy was saying then, as just coming out of the hairpin as well. Roscoe's just got past One Shanks and moved himself into 11th position there, but there's a couple of penalties out there. We'll review the penalties later on in the race there. Vintage is just too far back. Billet is quick on the start-finish straight, but looks of things there, as Vintage definitely have the DRS there, but look, because he can't get past, Shatters is now back in the equation as well, and that is not what Vintage wants here. He needs to get the job done quite quickly here, because there's a 6-second gap now formed between himself and Diashi there, as Billet is becoming the cork in the bottle. So that is Vintage there just needs to get a bit brave on the brakes, and I think now out of the final turn there, and Ayrton still leads the race, and he's doing a lot of harvesting as well. Felipe is out of the race then on a good speed, and there could be a cause for concern here. Is that going to be a safety car? Let's see where the car is as well, and that may hurt his teammate Ayrton. Of course, Ayrton got collected by his teammate and Baku earlier on this season now, and that McLaren there seems to be off the racing line now, or well out of fire. Well, I think he is actually in the line of fire there, but I don't think there's going to be a safety car. It's been cleared then. We're back racing now. Irvine's what's happened to Irvine now? Irvine has been off the circuit somewhere. I think that he's lost an abundance amount of time. Irvine has there, and look, there's dirt on his tyres, and Irvine's race is coming undone slightly here now as he damaged the car. He is torn in the Red Bull. Oh dear, Irvine is in major peril here. He looks like he's got all his wings in the right direction now, but Irvine may have thrown away he had issue in the pit, and his second half of the race there is coming undone. I tell you, it's coming undone at the right rate of knots then for the Red Bull driver then. Let's see then as Irvine is limping along then. 4 seconds to go between Joseph and Umad Bro, and the top 4 battles turn into a top 3 battle here. Shatters is right behind Billet now. Just taking a look to see what Theo's pace is compared to Irvine, and I think with Irvine stabilised, we'll see if that gap starts to rise or fall. And the gap is 6.4 seconds. Theo is still at a similar pace then to Irvine. That is such a shame there for Irvine, isn't it? What a shame, dude. We didn't see what happened there, but something went wrong in turn 1. I'm not sure if there's contact. I always go to contact, don't I? I've got to say, I'm a very suspicious man, that's it. Irvine's got a 3-second penalty, yellow flag as Vintage is off the circuit. Oh no, both Red Bulls are having an absolute nightmare second part of the race. They was doing it, their first stint was absolutely textbook, but the second part of the race has become a bit of a nightmare. Irvine's in the pits there. Oh goodness me. Oh my gosh, this man has, if any luck this man has, is no luck at all. He's got rid of that 5-second penalty, but unfortunately the cost of an extra pit stop here. Luckily there is a lot of gaps there, so he's still got a chance of points here. I'm not sure how many points he go. He might get in front of D Ashley there. I think Camera Racer might be too far in front then. Can he get out in front of Shadows, Billet and Roscoe and an almighty battle royale out there? He ain't going to actually. Irvine could be well out of the points here. Oh my goodness me, this is not good at all there for Irvine. He accelerates away. Roscoe just coming out in front of him. Oh, look at that, it's Vintage there, just sived his way through and passes one checks up into 11th position there. Irvine just coming out in 12th position now. Oh, what a shame there for Irvine. He's got a 3-second penalty still there. He does have new tires and he can get in front of Roscoe potentially, maybe in Billet and it Shadows as well to maybe claim 7th position there. But this is a day that he could have got a handful of points there for Irvine, but unfortunately that is going to be true sporting heartbreak there for Irvine. It's after a superb race there. Ersa is still in the race on lap 24 out of 27. This is another textbook drive from the front runner of Ersa. Well, now Mabro in second there. Joseph is still coming at them and written not set. However, it's starting to slow down. Roscoe's just got passed by Irvine then. So Irvine now just trying to come back through the field, and his next target is Blitz and Shadows, who are about 2.5 seconds down the road from the Red Bull driver. As Mabro is gaining again then through the SZ. This is where this is the part of the race there where Ayrton doesn't need to be too quick, does he? He just needs to be quick on that start finish straight and the run down into the triangle chicane. That is the only places where Ayrton needs to be quick then. And Joseph has had a bit of a scrappy first sector there because he's now 4 seconds away from these two. It's the soft tar starting to really play his course there. Fair play to JVDA Gaming there for sticking at it, and yes indeed, and hats off then to Gaming for sticking at it then. Yellow flag in one, and oh goodness me, Serious Mushroom has given the Kevin the Mushroom curse there, hasn't he? As unfortunately Gaming there, who's parked in the gravel, and hopefully he can get himself out there because that may cause a safety car. We don't want a safety car in this final stage of this race, do we? Because it's been a superb race, hasn't it? Hopefully Gaming will get going in a minute there, but he's going to be in a dangerous place there, isn't he? He is still in a dangerous place there, Gaming is there, and that's a bit unfortunate there, isn't there? Ayrton is out of verge. Troy is saying that, oh goodness me, Gaming's going disqualified there for parking in a dangerous location. Shadows is in the wall. Shadows is in the wall, and that's a huge shunt there, and down to 11 cars, and there's a safety car. Oh my goodness me, and there's a safety car with just a couple of laps to go then. And what is Joseph doing? He's in the pits now. Joseph is and we have not got long to go, have we? And I think that Joseph should get in and come out in front of Phil here. He's got to have a new set of soft tires here. I think the safety car should be in and out quite quickly there. So goodness me, then there's Ayrton's been disqualified. No way. Ayrton has been disqualified for the safety car infringement now. And oh my goodness me. And Ayrton's perfect race has come to nothing now. He's going to be furious there. Ayrton is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. And this is not what he wants there. And Ayrton, oh my goodness me. And I must say that that is one of the most hardest things that a driver, his brother Emerson had a similar issue earlier on the season, and Ayrton, who drove a superb race there, he is my driver of the day today, isn't he? Awful time in Germany, the same for Ayrton, but I think even worse than that, Ayrton's been robbed of a Grand Prix. He's absolutely a Grand Prix win. That was perfect there for Ayrton, and it is just gone absolutely, it's just gone completely AWOL, isn't it? Serious Mushroom there is Serious Mushroom there. I'm not sure what's happening there. Wilson, no, then yes, it's just not. I feel absolutely devastated there for Ayrton because that was perfect. That was, wasn't it? What a race there for Ayrton. He got pole position. He controlled the race. He's controlled the race as at the front of the field. That is exactly what Ayrton's been capable of. He's been in the doldrums, hasn't he, in the mid-season? But he came out today. He had a job to do. He was doing it superbly well, wasn't he? He was absolutely controlling it. To keep behind the likes of Mabro, Joseph, Irvine, the top three in COBALT, who have been no slouch by any stretch of the imagination. There is absolutely horrific stuff indeed, and that is I don't know what to say really, and that is such a shame there. And Ayrton has been robbed, I think, today. Shadows there, who apologise for causing the safety car. We also lost Gaming in there as well. So safety car is in the end of the lap. Then Joseph is on fresh tyres and Theo. So Joseph there potentially get his first ever Grand Prix win here in second ever Grand Prix win in a bronze tonight. And we're back racing on lap 26 out of 27 there as well. And coming across the line then, Wilson reckons that Joseph could have this win in the his pocket now as well. On board with Joseph. Theo in third position at 5 seconds away, and Theo, who is a bit off the pace there with issues that he's had there. We've also got Cameron up in the 6th, and Vintage down in the 5th position. Irvine is back in the 4th as well, but he has a 3-second penalty. No, just now on board then. There will not be no DRS until the end of this race. That was a very short safety car. That was a costly safety car for a few drivers. And it's not going to be a costly safety car for you, mad bro. You mad bro on medium tires. The only driver not to come the bow. The only driver on the medium tires now is there, and coming into the hairpin as well. And before accelerating away, half a second behind Joseph. And Joseph going for his second Grand Prix win of his career. You mad bro going for his first Grand Prix win of his season in ALR. As he's had an adventure this season. And a good goodness gracious me then. And we've got Joseph there currently in second at the moment, but he has got the pace as he's got the tires, but this might be a circuit, it might be difficult to overtake on. Camera Racer's just got past Vintage there, but Camera Racer does have penalties, doesn't it? So Irvine just needs to stick with it, and he'll be back in the 5th position now, Vintage is there, so he needs to stick with it then. Ayrton is absolutely devastated. As I just read the commentary, he says he might be done with league racing after that, and I kind of understand that, because that is woeful, isn't it? Absolutely woeful indeed. The man Ayrton there just did everything right tonight, didn't he? He was superb, and that is hard. That is hard to swallow. That really is indeed. It's said to overtake the safety car, then give back the position, and then disqualified Ayrton. It's similar to what happened to Emerson there, wasn't it? Emerson there, I think the safety car parked right in the middle of Emerson, or something like that, in the middle of Emerson's in the way of Emerson there, but I think that Ayrton going for a second Grand Prix win of his career in bronze, and however that is going to be a bitter pill to swallow. You mad bro though is going for his first Grand Prix win of his career in a bronze, but he still has to repel the attack of Joseph, who's on fresh soft tires and going into the hairpin now then. And you mad bro still leads him, but he's on those medium tires, and the COBALT champion next to Joseph as well. Theo has somehow got himself back in the 3rd position then after having all kinds of gremlins in qualifying in the race, but he's back in this as well. Look, Joseph's all over the gearbox now of you mad bro. You mad bro is going to have to really withstand this pressure, and these two drivers, they were gladiators in COBALT, but Joseph's had a bit of a rough ride over the exit spoon now, and he is now right alongside you mad bro, going over the crest of the hill as well. And let's see that, is he going to have a go then into the triangle chicane as well? He's a bit too far back, is he? I think he's too far back. He is too far back there. Look at the closing speed there. But you mad bro is now he's got less than a quarter to go then. And you mad bro is going to win his first Grand Prix of his career. You mad bro wins the Japanese Grand Prix. And Joseph in second in the end. Then Theo got third. Then the championship leader has extended his lead somehow at the when everything was all said and done there. Irvine in 4th position. I'll be a bit disappointed at that then after a superb drive. Camero in 5th position. Vintage is in at 6th in the end, and Swan Shanks is 7th, but he might be 8th actually, because Diashi is in at 7th position now. Swan Shanks 8th, Bullet and me at 9th from Roscoe. I think you have Bullet and 9th from Roscoe in 10th position, but today's day is you mad bros day, and goodness gracious me then. Absolutely dramatic end then to qualifying was what I was saying up until the last couple of laps, and that was an absolutely fantastic race. It really was indeed, wasn't it? That safety car there really in there may have put a bit of a downer on things, really, hasn't it? Unfortunately there. But you mad bro though got his first ever Grand Prix win of his career in a bronze, and goodness me, he is back to race winning ways as well. You mad bro, the first ever COBALT champion. Joseph in second today. 3rd position was Theo, the champion, the championship leader, extends his in the World Championship, and in a week's time then. In a week's time, Theo could be crowned the Bronze World Champion, which I think that'll be the earliest Bronze World Champion in ALR history. I might have to get my old textbook out on that one, but I'm sure that might be the case then. Let's take a final look at the classification. Only 10 finishers in this one now. You mad bro drove a superb race, didn't he? He really pressured Ayrton right to the very end there. He won his first ever race. Joseph finished second today, with Theo in 3rd position, got driver of the day. Fourth position there was Irvine. There he had a 5 second penalty, but was very much on it there, wasn't he? Finished fourth in the end, and he might be disappointed. That fifth finisher was Cameron. It's a great performance from Cameron. Also gets fast up as well. Vintage in sixth, D Ashley seventh, Swan Shanks in eighth position, Billet in ninth there, Roscoe in 10th position, and getting some points there for the Ferrari team. Just outside the top 10, Shadow said, "Oh gosh, there. I unfortunately didn't get to finish that, which is disappointing. Goodness gracious me, maybe I was a bit slow on that one. Let's go. Figure you mad bros in the commentary at the moment. Now, you mad bro. Good gracious me. Then that was an incredible battle between yourself and Ayrton there. Very much right to the end there. Talk about your first ever race win for Bronzo.
Oh my God, I'm still taking in the moment because that was intense last two laps. But I pulled it off, and it feels amazing to be back on the top step again.
It really does. It really does indeed. There, you had an epic battle between yourself and Ayrton there throughout the race. Said Ayrton came in the box first. Said, was you thinking about coming in the box, coming into pit before Ayrton then, or was it too early for you?
I extended my pit stop from lap 9 to 11, so I just stick to that. And yeah, he went in lap 10, I believe. So yeah, in the end, I just follow my strategy and I see what happens. And in the end, I got a one lap fresher tires. But yeah, of course, we got unlucky with the safety car there in the end.
Yeah, that was very unlucky, unfortunately. But and then you seen Joseph coming to the pits as well. And goodness gracious me, I bet that was quite intense. You mentioned there with Joseph there, very much following you for the final two laps there on fresh tires. Then I know Japan is quite difficult to overtake out there, but surely you must have felt vulnerable.
Yeah, of course, on those long straights, I was like pumping as much ERS as possible. But yeah, I knew in the back of my head, like, softs aren't that quicker here. You saw that on the first stint. It was very close because between us four. So I kept on to that and I pushed as hard as I could. And in the end, I just stayed calm because that's what wins you races.
And talking of which, then, because Irvine and Joseph went on the alternative strategy, was you concerned about that at all? Was you just keeping an eye on the gap when you and Ayrton was battling out in front?
Yeah, I always, when I have to choose between those two strategies, I prefer the soft to medium because if there's a safety car, the medium to soft strategy is kind of thrown in the bin. But yeah, there wasn't a safety car today, so yeah, I was a little bit worried, but I just go in with no expectation, and in the end, we'll see the results. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this one.
And goodness me, this is your second race in the bronze, and you've already hit top step there. Goodness gracious me, an absolutely great performance today. We've only got 5 races left in the season, but it's so condensed there in the middle of the championship. It is, I think, it's about 75 points that separate second down to 20th end. So, what is your aspirations then for the remainder of the season? Do you think you get promoted into silver?
That's not my first goal, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's not possible because everything is possible, of course. But I'm just gonna do the best I can, and we'll see where we end. And I guess I'm not racing in COBALT next year. I hope.
Well done, you man, bro. Superb performance today. Absolutely
Thank you.
top stuff, man. Joseph, who finished second today. Goodness me, you four is having an absolutely blinder of a race. That was one of my best races I've commentated on in a very long time. You, Irvine, you mad bro, and Ayrton. That was absolutely fantastic. In the beginning there, I think you was on the medium tires there, and you did get a bit of a sluggish getaway there. Was that down to the medium tires?
Yeah, it wasn't the best starts, but I had to go long on the medium long as possible because the hard tires are something you should avoid. So I tried it and it paid off. And I just want to say if I hit Irvine by chance or turned into him, it wasn't meant to be that way, but I felt like if I didn't take the turn, I would have gone off track. So sorry to Irvine.
Oh, was that down in turn one? Was it? Because we did see Irvine recovering. Was it? Did it get a bit too close for comfort? Did it?
Yeah, we were like almost side by side, and I had to take the right turn, and yeah, so I think I'm gonna get penalized. But Yeah, again, sorry for Irvine.
See, I would have admitted it myself. So, it was. So I think that up to that point, you and was having a superb race, and you was backwards and forwards there. Someone was suggesting in the comments there that maybe you drop behind Irvine and just use him as like a toe to catch up to the back of the front two. Or do you think that was too risky there? Albeit Irvine did have a 5 second penalty.
As you've seen, like in the qualification, he was 4/10 faster than me. He had the 5 second penalty, so I had to keep behind me just to secure the podium. And I enjoyed the battle with him and Umad at the end.
And you went on your turn to strategy. You pitted. I can't remember what lap you pitted now, but it was about with 9 laps to go. Was you thinking about pitting earlier on to maybe see if you could get a bit closer to your Mad Bro and Ayrton, or do you think that was too risky for the soft tires?
Yeah, yeah. I thought about pitting before, but going to the hards and the softs, like they died after 4 laps or something. So yeah, that was hard.
And then at the end there, when that safety car came out, I bet your eyes lit up there, didn't you? With that safety car coming out, then you had such a nice gap behind you as well, thrown on the soft tires. It's very difficult, as I mentioned to you, Mad Bro. It's very difficult to overtake on. But did you believe that you could get your second win today?
Honestly, yeah. And what made me like believe even more is the safety car came out. I was just next to the pits, so it was crazy. And I don't know what happened to Ayrton. So I think he hit the safety car or something. Uh, Deserved like at least the podium finish.
Absolutely well done today. Well done, Joseph. Well done to you, my bro, as well. I think Theo finished third as well, extended in the World Championship. Absolutely splendid stuff indeed. And Theo could actually win the championship in a week's time in the United States as well. He would be the earliest winner to win bronze, I think, which is absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. That I think that's going to be it for bronze tonight. And it's a heartbreaking day, isn't it, for Ayrton now? You, my bro, back on top step then as well. There's only a second race in a bronze. Absolutely ridiculous stuff indeed. Joseph back on fine form and a cracking race today. The best of the season so far for me. We'll be back in action then in just under a 24 hours time then for COBALT for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.